Satisfying.
Hello, Mother Funsters, and welcome to episode 8 of Chatisfying, a podcast all about streaming and making content and stuff made by streamers and content creators for you, whoever you are out there. Probably streamers and content creators, but anyone can enjoy this, I hope. My name is Mela, and this is my veritable co-host, the Hairy Hippo.
Oh, Hairy Hippo.
And please join us in welcoming our amazing guest today, AK_insane!
Beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Mother trucker.
Beep, beep, mother trucker. I'm so excited. Can you tell?
We're all excited.
Oh my god.
Let's start by talking a little bit about you, AK Insane. Tell us...
Me?
Yeah, about you. Tell us everything about your, like, the content you make, your Twitch channel. Do you have a YouTube? Like, give us the 101 of AK_insane.
Okay. Well, just, it's all crap, really. No. So, yeah, I'm sort of, just my stream's kind of, it's all like carnival based / clowns. So if you don't like clowns, just don't pop by because it's weird. And I know people are afraid of clowns. So yeah, we play a variety of games, but usually specialize in like FPS titles. But you know, I'm sort of trying to play more single player games and things like that, sort of going through various series of games. But it all goes back to 2016, 17 and sort of just seeing somebody stream and think, I kind of want to do that. So yeah, sort of went around, got a bank loan, got a new PC, and just sort of threw myself into it. And it's been quite fun ever since. And actually, my stream comes from mostly fighting games.
Really?
Tekken 7 is where I built my community. And I just love it. I always look forward to streaming. So yeah. Is there any specific parts you want to know about it? Or...
Yeah, absolutely. So, talk to us a little bit about the clown thing. Well, like, why the clowns? First of all,
let's have a think. This goes back to when Suicide Squad was being released, and it was a very long time before we heard of a new Joker.
Right.
There was a new Joker. I'm not saying the Joker was good. But it was, having not seen the film yet, I was super excited, and I was just like, "Well, what happens if I die before the film's released? I'm never going to see the new Joker." Things like that. So, and it just sort of sparked off a whole clown fascination. And also, American Horror Story were doing their carnival season freak show, and they have a clown in that. I've got pop vinyls all on the shelf here and stuff. And then Pennywise and so forth and so on. So I was like, most of my ideas come from my girlfriend's. She sort of says, well, why don't you just make it clown themed?
Right.
She buys me these suits that sort of stand out and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it comes from, really.
Okay, so the name AK Insane, is that clown related as well? Or is that separate?
So the A stands for my first name.
Right.
The K stands for my middle name.
Right.
And the insane is just because I'm weird, I suppose. And that actually goes back to when I used to write hip rap music. I used to write and record rap music and like do little rap battles online and stuff. And I went with the name AK Insane.
Amazing. Is it on YouTube by any chance?
It is, but I'm not showing.
Damn!
It's probably a little bit controversial with probably stuff that I'd probably say. So,
and for our surprise feature, here we go.
Yeah, there's a few people that have heard it. Some people said it's surprisingly good. Other people are like, oh, okay, it's interesting. I kind of wanted to get back into it now I'm a little bit older. Back then, I think I was about 14, 15 when I used to write music. I'm 34 this month, so it was a long time ago.
Oh, I bet it was proper edgy, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I was listening to gangster rap, and it was, yeah, highly inspired by Eminem. So that can give you an imagination or an insight into what kind of lyrics I was writing.
Yeah, absolutely. So would you say that the AK Insane name predates the whole clown act?
Yes, definitely.
Right. And do you have a YouTube as well? Do you post
I do,
there? Or...
yeah.
What kind of sort of stuff do you put there?
I've tried to do series and stuff, but I've mostly sort of done. I don't know, because it's time consuming because I do the Twitch, I do I do Dungeons and Dragons now, so a lot of my time's taken up. And sort of having the motivation and the extra time to do YouTube is rough. But I've tried to do some single player games that I've got keys for, so like a one shot kind of, little playthrough of a first look of a video game, and I've done a few like series stuff for like Path of Finder and stuff. But
like let's play.
yeah, it's a bit all over the place.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mm.
So you'd say that you focus more on Twitch?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah. How would you sell yourself then? Like, if you're saying like people follow me, why would someone want to follow you? I mean, I know, but for everyone else,
why should you follow me? Because you get free games by watching the stream.
Bribery.
Bribery. We've got little carnival sub games and things. So if you sub, people get to play little sub games and stuff, which gives you another chance to win a video game. But I've made them extra hard, so you can't guess them because I don't like giving away my free games. But the idea between the clown thing, I've tried to put all the clown stuff in one, so the scary stuff. But my idea behind the stream is I want to make people laugh. If I can make one person laugh per stream, then that's me happy. Somebody's like said, I've just nearly spat my coffee out because that made me laugh, and I'm beside myself.
Yeah,
I like that.
I can definitely identify with that. I like that. Yeah, that's nice. What would you say is your favorite game that you've streamed then out of all of the time that you've?
What game?
Yeah.
Oh, the most laughs. Judging by the most laughs and interaction from chat, I went through the Deus Ex games, the very first one. Mm-hmm. It was an absolute nightmare. It was terrible, but it was a lot of fun, and that's probably the most fun I've had in some of the older Hitman games, because I think we just take games for granted these days.
Yeah.
Because those games just do not work.
Yeah, they're pretty bad. I remember watching some of that.
It was an absolute nightmare, but yeah, and I've had a lot of fun on PUBG, to be honest, and FPS. A lot of my clips go from there because it's just stupid moments that happen.
Yeah, you pretty sick at first person shooters then, or?
I'm okay. I don't like to blow me and trumpet. I nearly said sock then, but I don't know what that means. I can be fairly good when I want to be, so to speak. Depends what kind of mood you catch me in, I guess.
Yeah. Do you mouse and keyboard, or do you use a controller?
For FPS games, you create. Is that a real question?
Well, it is for me, because you've got to keep in mind that I'm really not an FPS player, and
mouse
right.
And keyboard.
Yeah, I actually realised not that long ago that when I try and play FPS games on mouse and keyboard, I'm shit. So I've actually gone back to controllers, and I'm better with a controller than I am with a mouse and keyboard.
So you're playing Doom on a controller on PC?
Yes, on this very controller.
I'm unfollow. I can't do this.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. It's mainly because you don't use mouse and keyboard and you don't play FPS games, though. It's just as it is, like, the more you do it, the better you get.
Yeah, I think it's also something to do with the fact that I'm a bit more used to it, because most of the FPS games I've played in my life I've played on console, so you just get used to the movement, don't you?
I'd say I sort of used to use controller a lot for FPS games, and it does feel nicer. It feels comfortable in the hand, and you can just sit back and chill.
Yeah,
I can understand.
Yeah, fair enough. What about a game that you've streamed and you've just been like, this is shit?
There's been a few games. I play loads of games and sort of don't play them again. I went through the Dragon Age series. Dragon Age 2 was pretty crap.
Mori might kill you.
It was just the same map.
Yeah.
Again and again. So I sort of played it and thought, the combat was better. It was an improvement, but also, I don't know, I just wasn't enjoying it.
That was the city one, wasn't it? If I remember right. So,
yeah, it was mainly city stuff, and you'd go out in an instance and go out, and it'll just be the same thing pretty much. There'll be 4 different scenarios that you do. Dragon Age 3, I really enjoyed, but I also wish I never started because it's such a big game. I started it and I just I wanna finish this game. So I was like, I'm not doing any more side quests. If I do every side quest, then I'm gonna be here till I die. I can't. Sort of. But yeah. My favorite game, going back to that, is probably Sekiro. Dark Souls and Sekiro are my favorite games.
Glutton for punishment. I reckon.
Love them. So good.
Yeah. A certain type of person that likes those games, and I am not that type of person. Fair enough. What about a game that you've really enjoyed, but like your community's just been like, nah, we're not going to watch you play that, and your numbers have tanked?
That's a good question. I've had a few people say they didn't like Escape from Tarkov. A few people said they did. It's always split.
Yeah.
I don't know if Angry Bruiser is in chat. He might be able to tell you, but I'm not sure because he hangs out in the stream. Well, he's actually one of my moderators. But if anybody in my stream there's a game that you just hated watching, then let me know. It was probably PUBG, to be fair. Probably a lot of people are like, I can't watch you play this, or survival type games. I love a survival game.
Yeah.
People not too interested, but I don't know. I think it varies.
I've heard some interesting things about Tarkov. I've heard it's quite like you have to really think about like your loadout and all this kind of thing, and it's way more involved than I would be willing to go into.
For somebody for you, if you have never played an FPS game and you jumped into Escape from Tarkov, like for the first time, knowing about the FPS games and jumping into Escape from Tarkov, you can scrap the whole mellow above the head, because that's not there if you're playing with a friend.
Yeah.
You have to realize what your friend's armor's wearing. I've shot a bunch of people a bunch of times. Friends, like, and they've shouted at me, that's me. And I was like, oh, damn it. I didn't realize.
Whoops.
It's a hard game. It's a big learning curve.
Yeah, absolutely. What about a game that you've really sorry, the other way around, a game that you've not like hated, but your community are like, we want you to play this, AK?
Resident Evil.
Oh, really?
Which one? The first
Resident Evil, the remake and the third one. I never played any of the Resident Evil games, so there was no nostalgia thing for me. So first time playing. I used to be one of those kids when I used to go around my friend's house at the weekend. I used to watch him play games.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was essentially my Twitch streamer, I guess.
Yeah.
I used to watch him play, and like Metal Gear Solid, so forth and so on. All those games, I never played any of them.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same actually. Yeah.
He just used to whip my ass religiously at Tekken. Until one day Tekken 7 came out and I learned how to play. No, he's shit. He's like, oh, I can't play that game again. I used to be good at that game. So yeah, it's I think Resident Evil games. Resident Evil 7 is incredible, but the two new ones, people are like, you need to play this. I'm like, I don't really want to.
Yeah, fair enough. Have you ever like played a game just because your community wanted you to, or?
Yes, it's a few times. Yeah, I think I can't pick them out. I think when somebody gifts you a game on Steam and they're like, "You should play this," and you try and play it. So there's a game, I can't remember what it was called. It was gifted to me, but it was like Resident Evil. It was supposed to be like a Resident Evil game. Daylight, is it, or something like that? I can't remember.
Right.
1998 or something.
Oh yeah.
Daymare, 1990 something.
Right.
And that was gifted to me, and you feel like you got to play it, because otherwise you're like, oh, this poor guy's wasted his money. And it's like, I've had a bunch of Final Fantasy games given to me as well, and I haven't got through them either.
Well, probably Final Fantasy games, they're so long.
Yeah.
You've really got to commit to a Final Fantasy game.
I know. I've gone for the MMO. I'm enjoying the MMO, but the older games, I think I tried to play. So I can add Final Fantasy 6 to the list of people on my stream that weren't interested. There were a few people. There's a few diehard fans out there, but a lot of people just weren't interested.
Yeah, it's tricky.
When your moderators don't want to watch, it's like, well, you watch the numbers drop a little bit after the stream or whatever. You're like, oh, well, maybe I won't play that. I'm not always about like numbers and stuff, but have a sneak peek at the end, and you're just like, do I carry on playing this game or do I not? It's like a little fight and a decision with yourself.
Yeah. Do you play? Do you still like game outside of streaming, or is streaming your only gaming time?
So it always used to be, this is in the last year or so, I only wanted to play games when I was streaming. The only games I used to play off stream were PUBG. Single player games, I don't tend to play off stream, but FPS games, multiplayer shooters, whatever, I play off stream. Does that make sense? Because I want people to experience that game with me, and then the clips, you get the clips, you can capture those moments, and they're there forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, single player games I don't tend to play offline, and I wish I could. So in some respects, streaming has ruined video gaming for me, in the fact that I don't play as many single player games as I should.
It's tricky, isn't it? Like, sometimes picking a game to stream can be quite troubling, and especially if, like you say, like pretty much all of your gaming time is stream time. It feels to a certain degree like you're not really in control of what you play anymore.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't do what some people do, including myself, and have votes on what game is streamed next, there's still a certain amount of, like you said, like you stream something and then you realize that maybe the numbers aren't quite so good, and then you're like, maybe I shouldn't stream this game. But then if you don't stream it, then you're never going to play it. So in a way, they've then decided that the people have spoken.
Yeah,
and you're not
it's
playing
like an
that
internal
game
fight
anymore.
with yourself and what your community numbers reflect. If I'm not particularly bothered about the numbers as much anymore, but it's still sometimes you sort of do have that. Your brain plays little tricks on you.
Oh yeah.
Should you be playing that game? Well, I like it. Oh, well, your viewers don't. Okay.
Yeah, it's tricky. And then like you think, well, maybe I should play it on my own, but then you're like, maybe I'm not putting enough time into streaming, and it's a bit of a rabbit hole, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. So what's the scoop then? Like, is there anything coming up new on on your AK Insane channel on Twitch?
Anything coming up new? Like with COVID, there's the video game sort of scene has like plateaued a little bit. There's nothing exciting happening, I feel. I guess in the channel, I'm not sure if there's anything coming up new for that, but video game wise, maybe Battlefield 6 or something. I'm quite excited for that. But yeah, it's not really a lot going on this year, I don't think.
Yeah. Did you do Fortnite when Fortnite was popular?
Hell no. Like, yeah, that's one game. That's one game that people were like, yeah, you should play this or whatever. There was a few people I had a few people from Fortnite used to come and hang out, and I think one of my birthdays I installed it and I was like, yeah, I'll play Fortnite with you, and I hated every second of it. I just can't. I don't like it.
What about Apex Legends?
No, can't do that either. The time to kill for that game does my head in. Coming from a game like PUBG or Rainbow Six, Escape from Tarkov, couple bullets, a reasonable amount of gunshots to somebody's head should basically kill them. But you got to go through a shield or somebody's house or whatever on Fortnite, and it's just too much. I can't do it. So he's screaming at the computer like, "Why isn't he dead?"
So you prefer the slightly more realistic ones?
I would say so. Yeah, I think PUBG is the closest to an FPS experience for me, because you get down to for battle royales, talking about Apex and Fortnite, you get down to that top 10 situation. Your adrenaline's going and I never got that with Warzone at all. So I wasn't excited. It didn't feel like, I don't know, it wasn't as intense as PlayerUnknown would be for me.
Yeah, fair enough. What about the film that the battle royales are named after? Have you seen that?
I have. That goes back to a Japanese movie, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
It was actually my favourite film of all time for a while. It's still in my top 10.
I would say it's probably one of my favourite as well.
Yeah, good movie.
It's proper underrated. Like, there should be more people who have watched it. It is fantastic.
Yeah,
really good stuff.
Great movie. Quentin Tarantino's favourite movie, incidentally. There you go. Yeah,
oh really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I know, right? I just thought I'd mention that.
I think I was going to get that up on the laptop, actually, Battle Royale, and watch it at the weekend.
Yeah, you should. It's really good.
Weekend just gone, that is. So I might pop that up on the laptop and see if I can get hold of it somewhere.
Yeah.
We talk about that film. Me and the girlfriend, she's one of our favourite films as well.
Yeah, wicked. So, on that kind of subject, do you ever do any, what we would call extracurricular activity with your community, like a movie night, for example?
No, but I should. I want to, but I'm just a little bit inconsistent.
Yeah.
My Fridays are usually taken up by playing Dungeons & Dragons, and I really want to go through some old Jean-Claude Van Damme movies or Jet Li and watch some old martial arts films and stuff.
Yeah.
I really want to do that.
Absolutely. That sounds like fun. Yeah, good times. So talk to us a little bit about Dungeons & Dragons, because you DM, right?
Yes. I do. Well, I try to.
So you do this, once a week?
So I DM one game every other Friday.
All right.
I play in another game the other Friday that I'm not DMing as a player. And Mondays, which is slowed down because of summer holidays, I play as another character, which has somewhat slowed down a little bit because they haven't been he's got kids and stuff, so
Yeah.
kids and holidays and so forth and so on. So I play in a few, and I DM I think 2 now. So I'm starting to DM another one as well on a Wednesday.
Do you think does it ever get too much though?
No, I love it. Like I'm a little bit like just like I get a new hobby and that's all I want to do. So I just want more and more and more of it.
Right. And this is the new hobby, is it? You've only been, how long have you been into it?
Almost a year, coming up to a year now, I think.
Yeah. That's quite a long time for it to be the new hobby, but I suppose it is quite a big hobby.
It is a big hobby.
Yeah. It sucks up a lot of time like streaming does.
The streets.
Keeps off the streets.
It keeps off the streets. I'll be out smashing windows, graffitiing, and all that stuff. And like, they're too old to be doing that. And I'm like, no. How about Dungeons and Dragons? I'm like, all right, I'll give that a go instead.
Don't break laws, kids.
But no, it's fun, and I've just taken up painting the miniatures as well.
Yep.
From Sunday just gone, and that's something that goes hand in hand with D&D, and that's a new skill I'm trying to learn, and how to paint and how to imagine where the sun is reflecting on the contrast and stuff. And it's all I can think about, and all I want to do.
Yeah, it honestly, you showed some in your stream earlier, and the improvement from the first to the second was incredible.
Yeah, and I was quite proud of that as well.
Yeah, definitely, you should be. You think you're quite a fast learner then, or?
I like to think I'm a fast learner. Like usually, you tell me a thing once or twice, and I usually kind of get the hang of it.
Yeah,
I try to learn as much as possible and as fast as possible.
Yeah. Oh, nice. So I want to talk a bit more about the clown thing. You sort of touched on it earlier. One of the things that I've kind of observed myself is I don't actually see you do the clown thing that often. Is it something that you've kind of taken the focus of a little bit, or is it like, how's it work?
So I didn't want to. I wanted to go like full clown makeup, so forth and so on.
Right.
That's a lot of hard work to do, because painting your face up almost every night would be quite a commitment.
Yeah.
So we went with a suit idea to wear suits. As you know, it's pretty warm at the moment in the UK.
Yeah.
I'm currently sitting in a pool of sweat. So I've gone off of the suit thing. Normally it would be the suit thing, because I know people are scared of clowns, and I've made one person cry for a raid once due to the clown stuff I've done.
Right.
So
did you say cry?
Follows. Things like that would normally get the clown's stick.
Right.
But I'd normally be wearing a suit, and I'd usually paint my nose a colour. But with the summer, I just can't do it.
Right. Yeah, fair enough. I've seen you use like a Snapchat filter as well.
Yeah.
But you don't. What decides whether or not you use that?
Is that when somebody follows?
I think I'm pretty sure you can turn it on and off yourself.
Yeah. I don't use the Snapcam as often anymore because I was having issues with it.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Technical issues.
Yeah. Right. It was not playing nice with certain things. But I do the video that I've made and stuff for people that does have the Snapcam thing when people follow with the reverb voice and stuff, and welcome to the carnival.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's kind of. I do have a question, because you mentioned that some people don't like the whole clown thing. So does that like lose you engagement and lose you in followers? Do you think?
Maybe it's something I'll never know. I guess.
I think it must do, mustn't it? Like, because there must be people that have not followed you because they're scared of clowns and then just left.
That's quite possible. When I did the GOG thing, there was one of their moderators left the GOG stream because they didn't like clowns. But then there's also that other thing, like, have people followed because I've not done the clown thing? I think that's a question that can't really be answered. I'm not sure. Or the unknown.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fair enough. I've also got a question about your no cam streams as well.
Yeah.
You do quite because people obviously normally you get a streamer that does cams streams and streamers that don't do cam streams. That don't have a cam. I found it's actually quite rare to find someone that does some and some.
Yeah.
What makes the decider for you whether or not you're going to have the cam on?
My nose. So I suffer with severe sinusitis. And my nose, it can be excessively runny a lot of the time.
Right.
And I just don't think sometimes if I'm having a bad day, my nose is off on one, and wiping my nose every 10 seconds or whatever just puts me off, and I just don't want to stream anymore.
Right.
So I turn the cam off and I stick a piece of tissue up one of my nostrils and I just stream.
The sex has just gone up another 10 points. You know that, don't you?
I do. So I found like with a piece of tissue at one side of my nostril that's sort of somewhat blocked, it relieves that because I can breathe out the one that's not blocked, and I can take the focus off my nose and just enjoy the game.
Yeah.
But if my cam's on and my nose is just off, I can't enjoy streaming at all.
Yeah,
It's
fair enough.
horrible. And sometimes if it's hot, I can just sit naked.
Yes, I do that as well. To be fair, because I'm a part camera and non-camera, and my main deciding factor is, am I going to sweat my ass off in this leather chair or not?
Yeah.
And with the lights on and all this kind of stuff, and that's a main factor for me. And sometimes I just don't want to show my face. Sometimes I just feel fuck. I just want to pick my nose and play games.
Yeah,
and then
that's
chat
what I
to
do
people.
sometimes.
Treat it like a Discord call.
Yeah, it's just like other times. It's just like, you know what? It's actually really nice not to have a camera on.
Yeah.
You can just feel like you can relax a little bit more. You haven't got to worry about picking your nose, just in case you know, pick your nose or whatever you want to do.
I still do it on stream, but I get judged for it, and I just feel like every fucker picks their nose. All right, it's not just me. I'm just
It's
doing
a
it
whole-
live. Yeah.
Yeah, and so,
It's just
it's
watching
just
it
nice
with-
not to have a camera on, I think. But other
Yeah.
days, but if I don't have my camera on, then I can't do, like, if it's not summer, I can't do the suits, and I'm not as much animated and stuff. So it's always 50-50 for me, I suppose.
Yeah. Do you find that when you haven't got the cam on, this actually a question can go to either of you. Do you find that when you've got the cam off, you have like less engagement or less like new followers or something, or?
I don't know. About the same, I think.
Yeah?
I think.
When I have the cam off, it's mainly most of the start of my chat is, why haven't you got your cam on? I need to see your face. I'm like, you've seen my
Yeah.
face for about 4.5 years now, all right? You know what I look like. I'm a hairy fucker, okay? That's what we know. Live it, love it. Here's a picture of me. Enjoy. Sometimes I just want to sit in naked. And to be fair, I'll tell them, I said, look, I can't put my camera on. My tits are out, all right? And I'll get in trouble. You know, got to be careful of that stuff, all right? I haven't got a hot tub. I can't get away with this stuff, okay? So, you know, that's my kind of thing. Is generally the start of stream is, why haven't you got the cam on? And then people are just fine with it because my stream is mainly about me being a pervy bastard anyway. And since I haven't seen 90% of my streamers, my viewers in the flesh or anything like that, they're all sexy bastards anyway, so it's okay. But yeah, it's mainly just the banter for me when I have the camera on. I'm still me. It's just, whether I have it on or off, it's just sometimes more comfortable. And I think people, because I used to be cam all the time, and it was only since pretty much the start of the pandemic I've been like camera off every so often, because the start of the pandemic summer was really fucking hot as well, to be fair.
Yeah,
and
was it?
it was very uncomfortable. I also got hit with the virus.
We were all
and
stuck
I was feeling
inside.
good. And it's just like, that's it, cam off for a while. I just need to sit here and fester in my own nastiness for a little while.
Yeah.
And when winter comes, I'll turn it back on. And to be fair, I did. And nowadays I'm kind of with the on and off days. And I'll write in my title, cam off at the end of it or something like that, or cam on, just so people know if it's something they really care about. But most of the time, people don't come to see me to play the game anyway. Just hear me talk bollocks all day long is what they like to come in and watch me for. So, and just chat, which is a nice bonus. It's a rarity to have an opportunity that, even though technically I'm classified as a variety streamer, I'm more of a chat bollock streamer.
Don't pigeonhole yourself. You don't need to do that.
No. It's seriously the case because I'm so shit at games. It's unreal. I'm terrible. My you know, this is my mouse hand. You know, it's terrible. So,
It's all that jacking off.
yeah, I mean, some people do. Depends if it's in the bedroom or not. To be fair, but but no, it's fun just being variety. But it's more about having the chat than the actual gameplay. If I'm actually playing a game where I'm focused on the game, I think I lose more people because I'm not talking to them as much as I used to.
I'm the same.
Which is why I kind of stay away from single player games on my stream. I have the opportune thing where they're quite happy watching me just play shit. Or just like making a jigsaw puzzle, which I've done once, or building some Lego, or just having a chat. That's how I've always treated my stream, as a Discord call.
Yeah.
That's how I've always done it, and it's worked well for me, so I'm quite lucky in that regards.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't play... I try playing Is it The Last of Us? No, I can't remember. It's like this like story-based game that was crazy a couple of years ago about a girl can time travel or some shit. I can't remember what it's called now.
Life is Strange.
Life is Strange. That's it. I played the first episode of that. I had two people who were like fanatics about the game coming, and I'm like, yeah, this is great. This is great. And then I was just in it, and then like nobody came in afterwards. It was like dead as a dodo, and I'm like, this is why I don't play single player games or story driven games, because I also feel guilty about this. I don't know if you guys ever do, but like, because my viewers come in at various times, I feel guilty playing a single player game and having to recap them like every 10 minutes when someone new comes in to see where if they've never seen the game before, what's going on and stuff like that. I find with single player games, if you've played it, then people are quite happy to watch it to see your experiences of it. But if you've never played it before or don't know anything about it, they tend to avoid stories so they don't get their own spoilers, whether they're going to play it or not. People seem to avoid the spoilerage aspect anyway. So
No,
yeah, but that's just my
I don't get
thing
that.
on it
I
anyway.
don't, from my perspective, like I know that from as a viewer, I don't mind hanging out with people unless it's a game that I know that I want to play. I don't really care about spoilers. I'd hang out with them. So it doesn't really matter what game they're playing. I mean, half the time, if I'm hanging out with someone, I'm not even paying any attention to the game anyway. So it doesn't really matter. I don't know what you feel.
sometimes do avoid people that are playing games that are playing ones that I want to play.
Yeah.
Because if I know, like, for a horror game, I don't tend to play horror games. I probably should play more of them. But if you've seen a jump scare, then you know that jump scare is happening because you've seen it.
Yeah.
And there's been that sort of dominoes effect from the guy shitting or whoever you're watching probably shitting themselves. But yeah, there's some games that I probably won't watch people play just because I want to play them myself.
Yeah.
But that, like you said, I do agree that shouldn't stop you from watching somebody that you enjoy spending time with. So maybe I need to look at that a little bit myself. Sort of, maybe I should sort of, not sort of spend more time engaged in chat and not so much on the game.
Yeah.
And sort of the person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think ultimately that's probably, like, for me, that's the most important thing. It's the person. It's almost never the game. I mean, the game kind of gets people in to a certain degree, but you want them to stay for you. And I think I have seen like very interactive streamers sort of become more game focused, and it's kind of sad to see for me because I'm there for the the personality. And it feels like as you get more and more focused on the game, sometimes the personality sort of goes away a bit.
Yeah.
And it actually becomes, for me at least, a less interesting stream to hang out in, because especially if the chat is actually suffering because of it, because chat's being missed by the streamer because they're too intent in the game. I mean, obviously you're never going to get 100% on chat. Like, no one's that godly, especially if they are playing a game that's quite focus heavy. But if they're coming to a point where they're actually paying more attention to the game than chat, then sometimes it can tip the balance, I think.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I think, yeah.
I think the whole Twitch platform is pretty much, it's either you have a personality or you're fucking shit hot at a game, and people want to see the skill level more than anything else, which is when personality doesn't really matter as much anymore. But again, having that skill level is more of a 1 percentile thing than personality. So I find that Twitch is mainly 99% reliant on personality traits and stuff like that for as a magnet for people to come into than the skill level.
Yeah.
No one's ever going to come into my stream to see me play Tarkov because I'll end up shooting myself because I'm terrible at these things, or I'll stub a toe or something, so I know it's that real. But they'll definitely come in for me to talk bollocks and be a pervert and be dirty and shit jokes and all that kind of stuff, and that's. And I think all three of us, we have obviously a decent personality traits that are magnets for people and are interesting, and that's why they come in ultimately, whether you have a cam on or off. So,
yeah, I mean, I think there is definitely an issue there where there are the people that think they're shit hot at the game and therefore don't bother with the personality, but they're actually not that good.
Oh, they are fun to watch though, mainly for ridicule purposes though.
No, you can't be doing that, man.
I found a few people like got shitloads of viewers and they don't pay any attention to chat, and it's just boring.
Yeah,
and I'm like, what's going on?
But the one thing that I wonder then is that if you were like really into the game, would it still be boring?
Well, like hashtag League of Legends.
Yeah, if you're a League of Legends player and you're watching, I suppose if you're invested in the game, in a way, then it doesn't really matter. It's just like watching YouTube, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, in a way. Yeah, that's a good question. Just going a little bit back to the no cam thing. Like, how sort of as a percentage, how many sort of no cam streams do you reckon you do? AK?
A percentage? I have no idea. Maybe one or two a month. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Percentage wise, I don't know fucking what percentage.
It's not very much though, is it? Because you stream quite a
rare
lot.
occurrence, I would say.
Yeah. Because I mean, one stream a month for me. Like, I only stream I only commit to streaming once a week. So once a month would be a quarter of my entire streaming time. But you stream a lot more than that, don't you?
Not as much at the moment. I was kind of taking a step back because I've been doing more for me.
Yeah.
I was streaming 5 days a week, I think, at one point.
Yeah.
For consecutive years. And I picked up the Dungeons and Dragons and I thought, I'm gonna just start doing things for me, stuff that I want to do off stream. So that's sort of taken up a lot of my time. But I hope in the future, once I get a little bit more comfortable with it and other people are comfortable, and I'm gonna stream Dungeons and Dragons too. So
Interesting.
I've slowed down a little bit in the last couple of months, I would say.
I assume more from a DM's perspective on your stream though, because I imagine you make things extremely fun. We were talking briefly before, and I think if you do stuff like that with the whole like wizard robes and all that kind of stuff, it would be worth doing. Watching that.
From being a first-time DM and not knowing what the hell's going on, and being incredibly nervous, and people, some people being first-time Dungeons and Dragons player. There's a friend of mine who works with me, and I've got him into it, and he does the miniature painting and stuff. And he's never played Dungeons and Dragons, and his first experience was me as a DM. So that if he had not enjoyed his experience of Dungeons and Dragons, I feel like that would have been solely down to me, because I would have given him a shit experience, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
But he thoroughly enjoys himself, so that's a really nice compliment. And I've tried to bring all my streaming experience over with the production to D&D, with the sound effects, the voices, and just being creative as hell. And that's where I have most of my fun. And then the improv and just making shit up is great.
Yeah.
So
this is something that I want to talk about, but it kind of it feeds very much into the topic of the stream, the overlays and production value thing. So we'll talk about that, I think, in a minute when we go over to segment 2. Have you got any more questions, Hippo?
No, I'm cool. I think it's really nice to find someone that who variety streams has an edge and has their own niche, which I think with the whole clown aspect, whether somebody hates it or likes it, it's nice that you found it, you mark it as your thing.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool trait, because I think it's brave to do so, especially with how popular a fear of clowns is.
Yeah.
It's a really brave thing to do, but you obviously own it, which is fantastic, and people like it, which is why you consistently do it as and when you feel up to doing it. And I like that.
That's cool.
Yeah. It's less of without trying to. It's not like the negative version of the gimmick. I think it's fantastic that you have this niche. It's wonderful. It's really nice to see. So I like that.
Yeah,
I think that's why I haven't gone full makeup, because my other half, she sort of says like, well, that's probably a little bit too niche and a bit cringy or whatever. So I always try and sort of ask her for her opinion as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas that I feed through her or whatever, and she feeds back. But yeah, I've tried to keep it consistent at least. And I'm aware that people are scared of clowns. And that usually goes back to, I found, why are you afraid of clowns is because of the original Pennywise TV series. Or mini-series.
The mini-series, which yeah.
That's what most people, that's the common answer. That's why people are scared of clowns, at least of, I assume, our age sort of thing.
Yes, yeah. Well, it's going to be like a stupid question from my end, and I promise I'll finish it soon. But what kind of clown are you? He says, with lots of jokers behind him, or is that not something that influences you? I mean, what style would you push yourself towards more so?
I've tried to do a mixture of the funny / horror. I've tried to mix them together. Like, clowns are supposed to make people laugh. They're supposed to make people happy. And the fails that, I could be pretty crap at gaming, and sometimes it comes through in a funny moment. I'll try and figure out a puzzle, but I'll do it my way, not the way the game wants me to do it. I'll do it the AK way.
The insane way.
It'll just be a complete disaster, but it'll be great, and it'll make people laugh. And then I've also tried to do the horror stuff with the follow alerts and the alerts and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say a mixture between the two is what I've tried to cater for.
Do you kind of come into your own during Halloween a bit?
I don't do Halloween much. I probably should. I dressed up as Pennywise once for I think I was playing Red Dead Redemption back in when that was released.
Yeah.
I don't do horror marathons. I probably should, right, and do something for that.
Yeah, yeah,
I did dress up
definitely.
as a clown female once for one of my birthdays.
Oh yeah. How did that
was
go?
interesting. It went pretty well.
Yeah.
I probably shouldn't have been playing Borderlands though. I probably should have been playing something else. So there was the really cool idea, and it was like I don't know what to play, and chose a really shit game. So well, not a shit game. Borderlands is great, but in the respect that I should have been maybe doing a horror game or something.
Something with the aesthetic to go along with it, kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the only time that I've seen you in the full makeup is in the montage that you play at the end of your stream.
Yeah, that's one I was referring to.
Yeah, yeah. It looks good though. It looks. I think it actually looks kind of scary. I'm not particularly scared of clowns, but I think that that you dressed up as in a clown in that montage looks quite frightening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but in a cool way. I like it. It frightens her, does it?
Time doing the makeup.
That's good. Should we move on to segment 2?
Yeah.
If that's something you want to do.
Yeah, wicked. Right. Well, the topic of the stream today is all about overlays and production values. Normally we just sort of dive right into it, but I kind of want to introduce this a little bit. The reason why I wanted to talk about this with AK. I think that AK is honestly someone who's got really high production value. He puts a lot of effort in, and this is kind of one of the things that I kind of didn't mention earlier because I wanted to mention it now. You say about the first D&D thing that you did, and you streamed a thing where you edited together this like introduction.
Yeah.
Do you remember this?
I do remember.
It was like this 5-minute introduction.
On the other side when I played it.
Yeah, it was like 5-minute introduction, where you sort of did like a bit of like the Game Master in Atmosphere, if anyone's ever played that, where you were like, oh, welcome to the world and all this kind of thing, and it was fucking brilliant, right? Yeah. And you put so much effort into it, and you could kind of tell that you put that much effort into your stream as well. And you clearly do. Like, you watch the stream, you've got this this thing this video that you play at the end, pretty much every stream, and it's about 3 minutes long.
Yeah, 3-4 minutes long, I think.
Yeah.
Probably too long. But
that must have taken you ages to make, mate. It's got music. There's a whole montage of clips. It's really well put together. But there's other stuff as well. Like I think you've got one you used to play during a raid. I'm not sure if you still do. Is that right?
I sometimes play it during a raid. Yeah.
Is it the same one?
Which is a whole OBS scene. It's like is it a carnival type thing that plays?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just all this kind of thing. You've got obviously the whole clown act, and you've got the although it doesn't work so well anymore. You've got the the Snapchat faces, and you've got the voices and all the voice changes and all this kind of thing. You clearly put a lot of effort in, and you during the winter you put all of the makeup on and all this kind of thing. That must take such a huge amount of effort. Why did you do it?
It has, I guess.
Why did you do it? And I think that it's an attention to detail, isn't it?
It's when I've tried to do my stream. I've tried to make it best quality as possible. Like I recently got a VR headset, and the Oculus comes with a microphone.
Right.
And it is abysmal. It's horrendous. And just that little thing of having a really shit microphone quality, I was not happy with my stream.
Yeah.
And yeah, the small things like that, and then just trying to improve and find new ways to do stuff. I've sort of haven't done much at the moment, but trying to take inspiration from other people and then flipping it on its head and turning it into a clown kind of thing. The Stream Deck is incredible. It unlocks a whole new layer of stuff if you really dive into it, because you can do the multi-action button stuff, which can open and close scenes on timers and stuff, and have like 15 different actions that it can do just by pushing it once.
Yeah.
And that's what I've dove into, and I've really enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's quite clear that you put a lot of sort of background effort in. I think you touched on something there. It's important. Obviously, audio is so important.
It is.
There's so much it can't be understated, because there's lots of people, especially for things like this, but even like a stream where you're playing a game, a lot of people will have it where they're lurking, but they're doing something else. So really, they're really only hearing the stream, not so much actually watching. So it's more important to have a good audio experience than it is to have a good visual experience. Although obviously both is best.
One of the biggest things that helped improve my stream with the clown voices and stuff, because I had voice mod and it was shit. I thought it was good at the time. It was really bad, and I needed this Go XLR for the voices and stuff. So,
did you use anything like Voice Meter Banana before that, or
improving the stream as well?
Sorry,
I spent a fair amount of money on improving the stream as well. So,
well, you can kind of yeah, you can see what you got in your background then. How do you make the lights show and all?
I bought one of those Stargazer things.
Oh yeah.
So it's a little thing that sits under my PC table, and it just does a star thing. That's one of my recent purchases, because I like RGB lights.
Yeah.
I love them. I don't know why. They're just shiny and red and lovely. But you can have like different colors and stuff. And then I've got lights that run around the bottom of my floor and on my bookcase here, which seems to give a red on that one. So yeah, lights.
Amazing.
But on the bookshelf behind me is all my D&D stuff, mostly.
Okay.
It's a bit far away, isn't it? But...
There's a League of Legends thing there as well, with a Jinx on top, but you've got Curse of Strahd on top, which is like a revamped, pun intended, source book and stuff, which that's the one I'm running at the moment online. So that's like a big coffin shaped D&D thing.
Okay.
And then I've got all my books down here on the left, I guess, and a few Dragon Ball Z figures.
Nice. You a big fan of anime then?
Only Dragon Ball Z. I can't get into any other anime. I've tried.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I've got all my clown stuff on this shelf here as well. It's just not enough room in this room, basically.
Yeah, I know that feeling. So now that we've kind of qualified, the reason why we're quite keen to talk to you about this. What are your thoughts, sort of your general thoughts on it? It's quite a wide topic, obviously, on overlays and production value, like how important they are, like any advice you would give anyone, that kind of thing.
Advice. I think production value is quite important, but I think also it does matter what kind of person you are, personality, so forth and so on.
Yeah.
If you're born as tits, if you've got the best production value available, then that also doesn't help. So I think it's a mixture of things. If you don't want to stream with a cam on, don't stream with a cam on. You know, I think you have to be comfortable with yourself before you start messing around with other things, I think. I'm not sure if there's really any proper advice I can give, but just have fun. If you're new to streaming, just have fun, enjoy it. I think it's important, like some people, there's been questions about alerts and things. For me, I like the alerts. It sort of tells you when somebody's followed, so forth and so on, and overlays. I like little, I guess, like a notification, like somebody's followed, and then it's sort of acknowledged, I suppose. Just, I don't know. There's a few things that are needed, but also sometimes not. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know what I just said to you, to be honest.
Would you say that you enjoy doing all the background, like tinkering to make it better?
Yeah, I do, because I like figuring out problems. Like, how do I make this happen? And then I do everything I can to make it happen.
Yeah, fair enough. You got any more sort of pearls of wisdom or anything else that you've got sort of really to say?
Yeah, well, we didn't ever really give any pearls of wisdom, did we?
What about overlays?
Overlays could be nice. I think it depends what kind of overlay you're going for. Everybody's got a different style, so like a little cam overlay sort of helps with maybe a few bits and pieces on it.
Yeah,
can look nice.
Yeah,
I just trying to not cover up all your screen basically is kind of nice.
Yeah, there's a whole thing about thirds, isn't there?
Yeah.
So
I'm not sure. Just have fun. Like, yeah, that's just enjoy it.
Yeah,
it's a journey for yourself and almost discovering yourself at the same time. So yeah,
absolutely. It definitely is a journey. That's for sure. It can be quite a long one. I mean, obviously, sometimes you do get some people that are quite successful, and in a way, it feels like the journey is shorter for them. But you know, there's so
Yeah.
many people there that sort of, you know, just quite happy doing what they do. And
Yeah.
I mean,
And everybody grows at different rates.
exactly. I mean, I think it definitely helps if you enjoy all the little background chinkering things. I think pretty much all of the streamers that I hang out with do.
Yeah.
It's so much fun, just sort of like you say, sort of sitting there and just making some sort of iterative improvement every single stream, and it's so amazing, especially when every now and then you sort of go back and see something that you made a while ago, and it just feels like such a long time ago, and like everything
Yeah.
is different, and you're like, wow, I was shit back then.
Yeah.
You know?
Like going from my first overlays to now. I also had a green screen at one point. I still do, but I was having problems with the camera technology again. It wasn't green screening properly.
Yeah.
And the camera kept freezing. But yeah, you sort of go back to then and now it's definitely different.
Yeah, for sure.
Eye opening.
I do think that the environment's a little bit like, if you what you are looking for is to grow, the environment's a lot more competitive now than it used to be.
Yeah.
I think like sort of what viewers are looking for is a little bit more higher quality. Like I think the expectation of the viewers has actually gone up quite significantly, especially in the last sort of couple of years. So it is hard to say because like you do sometimes you go into a stream and like you say, like AK, it's not just about the production quality, it's about the personality as well. And it's a balance, because if it's all personality and there's like no production value, then you know, maybe that you're not going to enjoy that, because it's like production value goes into actually making sure that things work as well. And I mean, there is a certain amount of patience that people will have, for example, for, you know, I'll just hang on a minute, this isn't working. But people aren't going to stay indefinitely while you know, faff around with technical issues and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, production value goes in like so much more than that. But then, like you say, you've got like amazing production value, but you've got like no presence. Then that's going to be an issue as well, especially as the whole production value thing gets easier for people to do. Because obviously you've got all of these sort of YouTubers that literally their career now is providing advice on streamers on how to basically improve, and a lot of the actionable stuff that people will be like, oh, I could do that. That's that's the production quality stuff, because a lot of the stuff that's more about the personality is a lot harder to fix and sort of do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it'll be like, oh, you need to do this, you need to do this, but actually actioning that as a person is a lot more difficult than be like, oh, I can do this with my overlay, I can change my audio levels, all this kind of thing. So generally speaking, like that's so the quality, the production value, the quality of streams in general, I think as a whole is definitely going up a lot, like in the last couple of years. Partially because of these YouTubers that have basically been like, hey, you can do it this way, and there's a lot of free shared resources that you can get now. Like a good example of this is the whole Stream Beats thing, which is obviously the free music, but there's huge amounts of like free overlays that you can get, and you know, there's videos that tell you exactly how to like set up your audio and all this kind of thing. But at the same time, it is nice to it's nice to, you know, go into a stream that clearly has had, you know, thought of these things. So it's becoming a bit more like the baseline, if you know what I mean. It's becoming a bit more like expected, and like I think a lot more people will dip from people that haven't sort of done that. Due diligence, it seems like a word that's coming to my head, but it just makes it sound like work. But
Yeah.
you know,
I think with most things though, it is there's like especially if you're starting out streaming, there's like a checklist of things you kind of need to set up as such. Obviously, you need to get the OBS and the right OBS type to fit you. For example, I use Stream Elements OBS because it's better for me to get my analytics on the sides, whereas Lobs back in the day was okay, and I used to use it, but it kind of was a bit chunky and stuff like that. And you had predecessors before then, so you know you got that checklist bit done, and you have to set up what scene types you want. Do you want a starting screen? Do you want the end screen bits? How do you want to present it and stuff like that? And I think there is always going to be some prerequisites when you're coming into this kind of this field as such, you know. But I also think now that streaming is now more popular than it ever has been, those access to things are a lot easier to obtain as well. like when I first started getting an overlay, you would have to generally have to pay for it or snipe it off of Google or something and try and make it yourself or something like that. It's very limited. Whereas there's
Make
a lot
one,
of
and
free
they always
ones
looked
now.
awful, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's all free. You can get them for free, or you can get like you know, the modular packs that you see advertised on certain people's YouTube channels and stuff like that. Which, as modular as they are, they still look pretty much the same as most people.
Mhm.
And I think the issue I see with overlays nowadays is quite a lot of people are more so generic, like the Fiverr-esque style of logo, which is like every esports team logo you've ever seen in your life that a lot of people tend to use, but they probably play, you know, I don't know, some like Kitty Village thing or some shit like that. I don't know, you know. He knows games. I promise I'm a gamer. I know game names. Yes. You know, but they've got the hardcore logo that they've paid like 20 quid for or something on Fiverr and stuff like that. And that seems to be the wrong style of prerequisite, in my opinion, that people are going down. A lot of people seem to be guided that way. Whereas, you know, my logo is just a fat hippo a mate drew for me, and I took the name on because I'm a fat hippo, and like, yeah, I like that, and it's been stuck with me ever since. So much so that one of my viewers made me a hippo.
That is adorable.
Right.
That's cool.
Yeah, which was a really, really nice, like, fan gift thing. I hate saying fans because it just irritates me. But yeah, and stuff like that. But I think, like, AKA, I don't know what your logo is, but I assume it's something clown-esque.
It
Would you
recently
make-
got a revamp not too long ago, and I actually have a.
You haven't done an esports clown because I'd really be eating my own words now.
You'd have to have a look at it and make that decision for yourself. I don't think it's esports. It's just a clown.
Yeah,
It was pretty- it was-
but I think that most people tend to be going, or most newer people, or feel like it's the trend to go that kind of way, get the templated things, and you know, and grab this, grab that, grab this. I don't get me wrong, I'm templated with the plug in the big doodad in the microphone at the moment with the blue snowball, you know.
Yeah.
But I've had this for years, and I use this a C920 camera, which I've used for years and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
they seem to be now the static norm for a lot of people to go into, or like whatever, like a Harris Heller style YouTuber says to do kind of thing. And I feel like that ruins the creativity of an overlay to a degree.
Yeah.
I think for me, I change my overlay every year, at a minimum once a year. This year I've gone for a purpley bluish kind of tinge. Last year I was very Command and Conquer Nod style with the reds and stuff
Yeah, I
like
remember
that.
that,
That was
yeah.
my thing. Year before that, because I'm a big World of Warcraft boyo, I had a very Horde-esque style thing. Before then I was bubblegum pink.
I think
Because I
that,
fancy
that was the
bubblegum
synthwave
thing.
one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The bubblegum pink one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember that one, yeah.
And I change it every year at least. But then I also do, like, on special occasions, Halloween, I'll change it and do some, like, you know, cobwebs and stuff like that, and do extra images here and there that I've again sniped from Google because I can't be bothered to draw it myself or pay someone to do it because I'm cheap. But, and then you know, Christmas time. Although I do 2 Christmases normally. I do a Christmas in July and I do a Christmas at Christmas.
I love that.
So the Christmas in July, I will get up in my Santa outfit and stuff like that, and I'll dress up, and we used to be able to play Christmas music, but now it's going to have to be like copyright free-esque style of Christmas music, which is fine. I can still sing the lyrics as I'm tone deaf, so I can sing the lyrics and not get in trouble for
Quite
it.
a lot
It's
of the
all right.
older Christmas music's probably not copyrighted anymore. I mean, Jingle Bells will definitely be post-copyright by now.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's
Still, some
true.
of it's
That's
still
true, but
just
it's
music.
not Wham though, is it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean,
It's-
Wham's still going to be copyrighted. But...
Yeah, it's not the darkness and all that kind of stuff with their Christmas music, but it's still like I still have the Christmas themed in July kind of thing, so I always like that. And it was something different I do, and like I said, Halloween I do things, Christmas in actual Christmas time I do as well. Valentine's Day I'll do something as well and change it up, but there'll be a different type of theme every year for them as well.
Yeah.
And I just like changing shit. Not like incrementally throughout the year. I'll be like, okay, it's January now. I'm set on doing it like this. I'm going to be stuck like this. And to be fair, I'm looking at my stuff I have at the moment. I'm kind of getting bored of it now. But luckily, I don't stream as often as I used to, so I can still kind of be up with it. But it's useful. It's set how I like it. I'm comfortable. But I find when I change my overlay, I'm not used to the settings I've changed, because I'll do a whole new scene, so I can keep the old ones, like a whole new like profile or such
Yeah,
on
I know what you mean, yeah.
Stream Elements, and then I'll go back to him like, how the fuck did I work like this? What did this button do?
because
What
because
is
you
this?
improve every time, right? So every time you do it again, it's better than last time, right?
I think I preferred my Command and Conquer scene beforehand than this one at the moment. I still like this one. I'm all about, like, I'm very neon-esque. I love RGBs and stuff like that. My chair RGBs up as well when I have it plugged in. It's that kind of sad
It's
RGB
beautiful.
set.
Oh, I like that shit.
But I feel like I got my current overlay at the time when people were starting to pick up the purpley blues and stuff like that neon vibe, and I'm like, oh fuck, I just caught into the trend. I didn't want to be a part of the trend. I was trying to be different, and I'm like, oh, I'm stuck with this for a year. But it's luckily, I'm not that popular, so it's okay. But I've already got plans, and I've started jotting down what my next year's style is going to be, and it's going to be very, very different. I mean, last year I was very green screen heavy. The year before that, I had my table the other way around and behind. And I'll have to show you this AK afterwards, because I've got a Heath Ledger Joker just like your Jokers at the back.
Lovely.
And I bought it at a car boot sale in Cardiff for like a 15 quid that he did for his girlfriend, and she dumped him, so he kept it and then sold it. And I was like, I'll have it. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. There's actually a really good Chatisfying highlight of that particular Joker painting, isn't there?
Yes, because Virtue took a picture of my background when I went for a pee, and then decided to green screen himself in my bedroom.
Yeah, it's my bedroom. It's my bedroom. So then Hippo was like, "Oh yeah, do this then," and he went and grabbed the Joker picture. So
yeah,
funny.
I brought it out and everything like that. But I've changed things around all the time, and I've sometimes want to flaunt my geeky stuff out. Like I got a lot of Star Trek little mini figurine ships and stuff that I did, because I was a sad act that paid that monthly, buy this magazine, you get a free ship every other week kind of thing, and then realised that I spent hundreds down the. Annoyingly, right? One of my customers is the people who produce that shit now.
I bet he loves you.
And I do all the transportation for him, and I'm like, you fuckers, why don't I get this for free now? Come on.
Yeah. How much money I gave you?
Yeah, I ship your shit to Australia. Why are you not letting me have this stuff for free? Come on,
give me a
it's not
discount.
fair. Yeah, but I change things up all the time, and
Cool.
I think there's two different types of people. There's three types of people. People who will be stuck on a template and that's it, and they think that'll do, which I think is shame, because you should always freshen up and jiggle things around a little bit. You've got people who add things every so often, like you've got your lovely stars in the background, which I think is amazing, by the way. I absolutely love that. I think it's gorgeous. And it really goes off with the aesthetics of the colours and the glows in the background as well. So that's really nice. And then I think you've got people like me that just go, boom, this year I'm going to be like this. And do it like that. And I don't know. I mean, you do the snap filters and stuff like that, and I've always been intrigued by that kind of thing, but I think that's very much if it's within your branding to be able to do so. I know there was a lot of people back in the day used to have Mello, we've talked about this before, the little pixel characters at the bottom of the screen when people join the chat rooms and stuff like that.
I used to use those. Moon still does.
Yeah, that's a certain type of people that would use that. Some people use the filters, some people use hot tubs, some people like me who will just they'll find a Jiffy thing, however you wish to pronounce it, and have that as my one for follow, one for sub, la 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 la, and leave it like that. That I is literally not so much a focus for me to say yes, you're in. That's cool. That's a little feature that comes with it, so you might as well have it. But my main thing, someone follows, I will make a big fuss about it, because it's rare that anybody sticks around long enough to hear my perversions anyway, because they look at me and go, we're on to Yeti. And then they run away, and I don't know, I'm a fucking hippo. It says it on my channel name everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fucking hippo. Learn to people.
What game are you playing? It says in the title, dickhead.
In the title and underneath the title as well, in the category.
Playing Silent Hill, but you actually got Pokemon written in it. It's what throws them off. It's a lot of fun to do that.
Hey, hold on. Careful. I'm pretty sure it's against TOS.
I'm always tied between the camera and the green screen. I like the smooth look with the green screen. I pronounced that completely wrong. Green screen. But I also have fun with the clown stuff as well, because I've spent not hours, but filming myself in front of a green screen, then implementing myself into my own stream as a clown, which I can't do with a webcam thing. And I love showing off my merch as well, and the lights and things. So, there's a thing that I did, which one of my viewers, there's a guy behind you, and I basically had myself sort of stand up behind myself while I'm sat down, and then just brandish a knife a little bit, and then just walk off slowly. Really creepy. It's in my starting soon screen. I kind of changed it up a little bit, and sort of made it glitchy and stuff. And this guy, one of my viewers was like, "There's a guy behind you." I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" And it was like genuine. He even clipped it and actually thought there was a dude behind me in a suit.
That's cool.
Show me a knife. And I can't do that with this. So I'm always tied between the two. I
Yeah.
love that you can do a lot of things with the green screen, but I also love showing off the lights and this and that. And this kind of setup's kind of new actually behind me. So I mess around with things as well. I'm never always happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that does kind of go into the whole overlay thing that we're talking about, and I think that kind of is a bit of a sort of $1 million question, sort of green screen or no green screen. There are some times when it's obvious what the answer is. For me, the obvious answer is green screen because what's behind me is fucking ugly. All right, but if you can get because it's a study more than a streaming room. It's where I stream, but there's just a bookcase behind it. Basically, it's not particularly nice to look at.
You got all your porn mags in there, haven't you?
Well,
you never showed up when I came to visit. That's rude. I want to see your porn mags.
Next time, Hippo.
You got a button and the bookcase just disappears into the wall.
It's like,
opens up to his sex dungeon behind it and everything. It's gorgeous. He's got his Gimp's outfit just there, ready to rock with whips and everything. And he's like,
isn't it Family Guy where he goes through like 5 minutes of like checks and there's like eye thing and he goes past people and then there's like a thumb thing and it's just to get like one porn mag.
But I love the green screen. It's fun. You can do a lot with it. Like I took inspiration from Halifax. He's a PUBG streamer,
right?
But he basically took a picture of his hands holding a controller. He quite obviously plays with a mouse and keyboard, but he's cut that out on Photoshop and put that up on the green screen. And he's made it look like some people will ask, "Are you playing on a keyboard, a mouse, or a controller?" And it sort of put the picture up of the image, and it would fit perfectly with his figure. And sort of, I'm using a controller. You just don't need to use the back buttons because that ruins it and stuff. And it's just hilarious. And I've kind of done that myself.
Yeah.
But again, you can't do that with the normal camera stuff.
Yeah, because on your just chatting screen, there's actually an image of the back of your head, isn't there? Yes. And then it's your back. He's that version of you's looking into a mirror, and then the mirror is actually your camera, which is genius. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
That is cool.
Yeah, I really like that. But so
I'll be honest, it is cool, and it was a lot of fun to do.
I just love the idea of you sort of sitting there like taking a picture of the back of your head.
Yes, I got the idea. I don't know if Becky came up with the idea or I did, but I wanted myself sat in a clown makeup room or like a movie star makeup room, whatever.
Yeah,
it would be clown really, and then various things around like a bookcase and like my name carved into with a knife on the desk.
Yeah.
And I had a friend do all the artwork and stuff and the animations and then Becky came up, took a picture of the back of my head and I sent it. It looks weird, but when it all comes together, it looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really good. Honestly, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, I like, again, for the production value, I like pushing those boundaries, coming up with something new that nobody else has, sort of thing, nobody thought of. And I think it's a lot of fun to come up with those ideas. Sometimes I wouldn't go to sleep because I'm trying to think of new things.
Yeah. Actually, a genuine tip for that: if you've got like all these ideas going through your head and you can't get to sleep, write them down.
Yeah, does it help?
Yeah,
I've heard that.
It works really well. Yeah, because the reason why you can't fall asleep because you're like, I'm gonna forget him, I'm gonna forget it, and then you write it down. And you fall straight asleep pretty much afterwards. It's amazing.
Oh, okay, but I can't read my handwriting. We discussed that earlier.
Oh yeah, well, that's an issue. I can't help you with that. Sorry, mate.
take Jesus to the shops. No, well, I don't know what that means. It's a sight. Yeah,
but genuinely,
fair enough.
If you have a nice looking background like AK Insane, I think that if you can make it look right on the overlay as well, then actually having not having a green screen is superior to having a green screen. But in a lot of situations where what you've got behind you is like just the general minutiae of daily life, what I have, and like quite a lot of people have it in have their stream room is their bedroom. So what is behind them is their bed, which is not very interesting. So if that's all that's behind you, you may as well get a green screen, especially they're not very expensive. Obviously when you first start, maybe, but it should be something that you consider.
It's a pain in the ass, I've found.
Say again?
The lighting and the chroma key, and it's a pain in the dick.
It is a pain because you can't really have a green screen without having additional lights.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can get a green screen, it's definitely worth it if you don't have an interesting background. But at the same time, if you can get a good, nice, interesting background like your one AK Insane, and to be honest with you, Hippo, before you spun your computer around, then all the better, to be honest.
Mm.
I had somewhere I was going
Although
with this.
thinking about it, right, if you wanted to do your green screen again and you got the lights working, the chroma key perfect, you could just record your background for a minute and then use the video footage as your green screen. That way, when you want to have your shiny things up, you can have that
Yeah.
up.
I have done that when the bookcase was behind me. So on the chatting screen where I'm in the mirror, I took a picture with my phone from behind my monitor and had that as my background. So I had all my stuff up there with the lights, but I never thought about doing a video. Good idea.
Because you could just
Again,
loop that, because obviously you got your stars are going at a certain formation, but they only go for a certain amount of time before it loops back around. So you just record that footage and you've got that live feel about it still.
Yeah. It was a good idea. But again, I think I want to invest in a better camera. Because I was finding I did plug in an old DSLR camera that we weren't using.
Yeah.
Or camcorder, sorry, and it would just freeze every now and again. And I've had it's made for some funny content, but it's really a pain in the ass because I don't like it when things don't work as they should.
Yeah.
So it would just freeze on the image. And I had one where it froze. And you know those creepy paintings that the eyes follow you around?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
My face was legit frozen and my eyes moved like left
Yeah.
and right. It was insane. I had no idea what the
yeah.
hell was going on.
That was so weird.
But yeah, again, I need a new camera. So maybe it's something I need to invest in for the lighting.
Yeah, possibly. Absolutely. I do think that there is a lot to be said for the whole green screen effect especially when you're on the the actual game screen. I do think it looks very clean when it's a green screen, and
I agree.
It basically erases your surroundings, and I think that looks great. Just sort of from an overlay perspective, but just actually talking about overlays, it's quite interesting because through my time as a streamer, I feel like I've kind of changed my mind about overlays, because I used to be all about the overlay. Like when I very first started, I made my own overlay. It was bloody horrible. It looked gross. But then I started using the overlays that you could get from like Streamlabs and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And some of them are quite overbearing, to be honest. And I kind of got to the point where I was like, I kind of prefer a cleaner overlay, like just one that's just a little bit less loud, that's just not got very much on it. And I think there's a lot to be said for, like, when you're playing a video game, is just having the game and the webcam and on a green screen and having nothing. And I think that there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. You don't need all of this extra gumph that a lot of people do have. And I know that is rich for coming from me, from someone who used to use all that gumph. But I've kind of changed my mind about it. Sorry?
I think we all have at some point. Like, I think I've recently got rid of the sub goals and followers and stuff. Well, I think it was mostly the sub goals. I literally just have my logo, the clown, the camera.
Yeah.
Some sort of thing up in the corner so people like to see whether, I don't know, I think they like it when it shows their name when they've followed.
Yeah.
So they've followed and they see their name on the screen for a little bit. It's like a little couple of things up in the corner. You can hardly see it. And then a thing in the corner that not a lot of people catch, but when they see it, it scares the shit out of them. I've got Pennywise like peeling back the corner of my stream.
Oh, amazing!
And a lot of people don't notice it, but like, oh my god, I've just noticed the cloud up there. It's just like, but yeah, I think a cleaner look does look nice. I've been on Fiverr and got overlays, and I don't think it helps with people constantly badgering you because they can make you an overlay. I've had somebody go out and make me an overlay, and I've not even agreed to it.
Right?
It's like, I don't stop. That's just weird.
Did they try and charge you for it?
I think so. Yeah, that'll be. No, I did not ask for an overlay. I'm good, thank you, sort of thing. And they don't seem to take no for an answer. These, not all artists, but
yeah, fair enough.
Weird.
I suppose it's probably quite what's the word, like a cutthroat kind of industry. In a similar way, I suppose, to streaming. If what you're in it for is the money. I mean, I kind of hope you're not, but some people are.
I'm in it for the money, absolutely. And that's why I've got all of this nice stuff. money. No. Yeah, some people do go in for the money, and usually they fall on their ass flat pretty quickly and never stream ever again.
Yeah. So
they've not made £1,000 in the first 3 weeks of streaming.
Yeah.
But they're amazing at the game.
Yeah, they're amazing. They flake them pretty quickly.
But no, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I think I have seen people as well who are like starting, like they're about to start streaming, and they'll put like quite a lot of effort in, and it is nice. But you do get to a point where you kind of just want to turn around and say to them, "Just go live, like, just have a go." Like you don't need to put like quite as much into it like at the start as you are. I think it is better to sort of sort out the basics, go live, and sort of get a little bit of a feel for things, and then add things as you go along. I think there's a lot to be said because I think a lot of the most certainly not necessarily the most successful streamers, but the streamers I like to watch the most are the streamers that are improving their stream all the time, like little by little. Yeah. So they'll go live, they'll have a stream, and then they'll be like, oh, I can add this, I can add this. This is what I do as well, although I haven't had quite as much time as I would like recently to be doing the background stuff, but that's a completely different kind of thing. But on that subject, I think it's quite an interesting one. What would you guys say is the bare minimum before you actually hit the go live button?
To do before stream?
Yeah, the very first time you go live.
The very first time?
Make sure you got Stream Key into Streamlabs would be a good start, I think, because I've done that. My first time, I didn't even know how to do that and had to figure it out. It was confusing as hell.
The settings are very important. People that stream at 1080p that think that that's the best resolution to stream at, is I've even done it myself, and you can't stream at 1080p because Twitch does not allow partnered streamers to stream at that because of the bitrate that they're allowed.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do the 936 now or whatever, but I think the settings are the most important part, and getting some sort of alerts, because I find it a bit crap when you follow somebody, no alert comes up or whatever, and it just shows no acknowledgement of anything that's ever happened.
Yeah.
Like some sort of alert or whatever. Chat, get your chat up, settings, chat, alerts, and your labels, your stream labels. So you know that goes with the alerts, obviously, because then you know who's followed and stuff. I would say, because you can, say thanks or whatever. I think it's almost the bare minimum, to be honest.
Yeah. What would you say then, Hippo? Anything to add to that?
When I first started and I got everything working, I actually recorded myself first.
Yeah.
Is what I did. Because I know... Well, I started on a laptop, I had the laptop microphone. I know it was going to be terrible, and I tested my laptop microphone compared to my headset microphone at the time and stuff like that to see which one was better. Also to see the angle was okay, because I mean you can see it on your stream window when you're doing the OBS stuff, which is fine, but I still think it's better when you've recorded it or you see it like as a playback of your own streams, because it looks different, which is a really weird thing to say because you can see it, but seeing it from a viewer's perspective at a bigger screen and without all the fuss on the sides and stuff like that and all your analytic-y bits and all that kind of stuff, just seeing it as is always a key thing to do. And I think you should definitely record yourself beforehand and see how you look. Sometimes I'm quite a very confident person in terms of talking to people anyway, and talking absolute bollocks on a stream anyway. My first night out streaming, I was still just talking to myself and singing because I was going to say insane, but I am nowhere near as cool as you. So I'm just loco. I'm loco in Acapulco because I stay too long, is what I am. But I was confident in that. But then I think people because I still think starting streaming is a very good confidence booster for people.
It can be.
People who are very good with socializing in public might find it more comfortable and build themselves up better as a person in terms of like confidence wise by doing it on streaming, even with no cam starting off with. I'm a lot more vocal about things than I used to be. I used to be quite reserved, even though I'm quite confident in starting conversations and being a party animal if I need to be, or a subtle person if I need to be. I can judge those things fine, but being more vocal nowadays about not so much my opinions, but just general views on things and stuff like that has helped from streaming. I'm more comfortable talking to people on like Discords and doing these kind of things. Whereas I don't think, like, if I started streaming first right off the bat or didn't know streaming and somebody invited me to a podcast to discuss things, I'd be a lot less confident about it. But definitely recording yourself, viewing yourself, and you're gonna cringe. Everybody cringes at themselves. That's what we do. You're like, oh my god, why am I doing this? But I still think you can still tweak and then go live. Like Do you need a noise gate on your microphone? What is a noise gate? How do I get rid of that fuzz in the background? Why can you hear my fan? All this kind of stuff. And then you start Googling it and you can do it better. And I still think, and maybe that stuff you progress over time, but an initial, if I'm going to suggest to anyone, is definitely record yourself beforehand. See what you're doing and thinking, what can I do to improve? And then Google it.
Yeah,
that's a good tip.
I definitely agree with that. I think an even better reason to record yourself is because is audio. Check the audio is like, again, the audio doesn't need to be perfect, but it needs to not be horrible to hear, kind of thing. And the problem is, especially when you very first stream, is you're not that likely to have people actually come in and tell you that there's an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you've got some of the more expensive kind of equipment, you're not going to be able to tell that there's an issue because you're not going to be able to hear your own stream.
And annoyingly, if you've got a viewership, they won't tell you it's shit.
What's
for the
this
most
all
part.
about?
That's why I will.
I played Diablo 3
I will always mention.
for 4 hours once with no game audio. It was just me again. Ooh, ah.
But then
Making
they'll go on
sounds
with
like
it,
some sort of crappy police academy guy. And it was just, why has nobody fucking told me?
Yeah, you like the optic. Like one of my mates who comes into my stream often, Bueno, he will quite happily make me look like a dick, which I'm happy with because at least it puts me in my place about stuff. But a majority of your viewerships, the general consensus is they enjoy who you are for what you do, and don't really notice the things that you would want to have in the stream or set correctly. You know, it's just stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I like honesty, and that's why I always give props to Angry Bruiser, because they always give me critical honesty and just tell me the truth. Because some people will be like, they beat around the bush and go, oh, yeah, you're doing great or whatever. Just tell me if it's shit. I need so I can fix it.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And
so
the thing
forth
is,
so on. And I want to add one more tip to the thing is just don't have your viewer count up, because it will just mentally fuck you around. You just don't have your viewer. Look at it after stream. That's fine. Just don't have it up. Don't look how many viewers you got, because that will mentally affect how you stream. If you look at your viewer count and you're having a good stream and you look at it and there's 2 people watching, suddenly your mood is going to change and it will affect the rest of your stream and the mood of the stream. If you stream like you've got 6,000 viewers, Hairy Hippo was singing on his first stream all night or all day or whatever, and that is a great start. Comment on what's going on the screen and just carry on talking to yourself. Somebody will eventually strike up a conversation.
Not like you got a mate next to you, like you're the mate that's playing the game and not watching the game.
Yeah.
Like as a kid, like we were talking about earlier. That's the key thing. Just vocalize what you're going to do. You know, I'm going to kick the shit out of that guy in Tekken and I'm probably going to die afterwards, but it's fine. But I'll try my best. And I shouldn't have clicked that button. Oh, fuck. Oh, man, I don't know this combo. Just vocalize it.
Yeah.
What's in your head, say it out.
Absolutely.
Is what it is.
Absolutely.
Maybe not all the things, because you could probably get in trouble, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. But no, I would say...
Really.
Sorry, go on.
Oh, yeah. Another one would be... I've got all these ideas that come to me now. Like, now I've had time to think.
Yeah.
I'm not really one to say, but I do try to keep it. But a schedule is really important.
Yeah.
It's like your TV show of EastEnders. Not everybody will know that reference, but it's on at a certain time, and people will expect you to be live at that certain time, and they will make that room time slot for your stream to be live. So I think that's one of the key factors between the other couple of things that we've said as well.
That's actually one of the hardest ones to do out of all of the things that we've mentioned as well. Honestly, AK, and as someone I know yourself, you've got a kid, haven't you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
hell no.
All right.
Definitely not.
Wow. I can speak from
money.
I can speak for myself then, as someone with a full-time job and a kid. It's so hard to actually find time.
If you've got a kid, then fair enough. Like Virtue, he's done an incredible job of it, and you do as well, because it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And life's unpredictable anyway. Let alone having a kid as well. It's going to be rough. But no, I do not have a child.
No, indeed.
To be fair, Mela, I mean, the best part of your stream, without trying to sound like a dick, is tea time. All right? Just saying. Rest of it's shit. I only come for tea time.
I knew you were going to say that, though. Yeah, fair enough. He's the star of the show, after all. But going back to the, like what we could sort of say is the bare minimum is, it's literally just make sure that, you don't have to make it sound and look perfect, but just make sure that it doesn't sound or look terrible. have alerts so that you, if nothing else, so that you know when something's happened, if someone's followed, hosted, raided. Because the worst thing is if you get raided, or if you raid someone and they don't even realize. And I've been there. I've joined other people's raids and they haven't even realized. It's so uncomfortable. And people will dip so quickly if you do that as well. You need to, you need to at least not acknowledge the raid and all that kind of thing. The only other thing I would say is, there's probably a few. You'd need a chatbot, really. There's a few chat commands that I would say are probably bare minimum. The shout out command, absolutely required. I would say, like even going live for the first.
It's common
time.
respect and the thing to do, isn't it, nowadays?
Yeah. But also, it's worth just having, like, if you've got a Twitter, !Twitter, not one that spams chat every 5 minutes, but one that people can use, if they want your Twitter handle. Because I've done this myself, as doing this show, but also sometimes, because I don't do it quite as much as I used to, but I used to quite like doing like thank yous at the end on Twitter, be like thank you this person for doing this, and then I'd always say who I raided, so I would want their Twitter handle, and then I'd go in !Twitter, nothing happens, and then I have to sort of search around for it and all this kind of thing. So I think it's worth having things like that are just there if someone wants it. You don't want it so that it's going to like spam chat or anything. And from there, I mean, would you think any other? I don't think there's any like really required commands.
I think there's a few Twitch etiquette things that you probably need to learn. Is don't go in other streamers' chats and spam your Twitch link.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are little things that people do, and I still see it.
Yeah.
Watch my stream, and while they're live as well. If you're live, why are you watching somebody else's stream? Like, you should be focusing on your stream. Like, those are little things that you probably, it's common sense, but common sense isn't always that common. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
I feel like we've managed to talk about that for like, I don't know, however long that was, and not really answer the question between the three of us. But it's one of those ones. It's very difficult, isn't it? There's no real conclusion to the question. In terms of, what's the right amount of background stuff? Because I've seen people that I enjoy watching that have had both not enough and too much.
Yeah.
Because I have had conversation with people occasionally when it's like they're like, oh. It's nice to be approached sometimes. They approach me for advice. Oh, should I do this? Should I do this? And I've even said to a couple of people once or twice, I was like, I think you're overthinking it. Just have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun. A little other few things would be like, what's one thing that you hate while you're streaming? Do you stream with other people? Have you ever done that? Other streamers?
I usually try and steer away from it. I have done it occasionally, but it can be very problematic.
One thing that annoys me is the chat spill. Like when somebody's talking to their chat and you're talking to your chat.
Yeah.
I went out and purposely bought a mouse with a mute button, a side button, so I could mute my Discord while I'm talking to chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that does my head in.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't have that. Yeah.
Yeah. They just talk to their chat, and you're like, you talking to me? And it's just.
Yeah.
But I don't think, like you said, there's not really a right answer. So
yeah, that's funny. Actually, you said that. There was a experience I had recently where I was watching someone who I don't watch that often, and they were playing with other people on Discord, which is fine. But then they were playing. I can't remember what game they were playing, but it was a game that you play the game and then you go back to the lobby. And they went back to the lobby and they were having a bit of a break. And so the streamer went, sort of had okay, we'll have a bit of a chat with my community on Twitch, which is great. That's exactly what you want with those kind of breaks. But they left Discord on in the background. So the whole time that the streamer was talking to their chat, you can hear these other people just talking amongst themselves on Discord. I'm like, what?
Yeah, push the mute button.
Yeah, honestly.
Just bind it.
Yeah, just turn it off.
Yeah, because that's something I've learned. Because playing FPS games and a few multiplayer games, I have had a lot of fun doing that sort of thing. And trying to talk to your stream while playing a video game, while talking to your friends, and if they stream as well, becomes another issue, and they just don't even consider thinking about that.
Yeah, I have definitely seen, because like Discord etiquette is actually quite it's a lot more involved than you think. When you're both streaming, Discord etiquette is kind of crazy. And I've seen it before when a friend of mine was streaming with a bigger streamer, and the bigger streamer just didn't mute their microphone when they were talking to their chat, and it made the smaller streamers stream almost entirely unwatchable. To be honest with you, it's not ideal.
Just have no friends. It's easier. Just no friends.
Just have no friends. I agree. Just fuck 'em all
Live
off.
life solo. It's much easier. Yeah.
One more sort of thing though. Do you watch your VODs back at all? Okay, insane.
I do.
Yeah. See,
Because
go on.
I think it's important. I don't do it so much at the moment because I feel like I'm quite in a comfortable place.
Yeah.
Because when I speak, because the thing like the Go XLR and stuff, I can hear my own voice in my headphones when I speak, so
Yeah.
I know that my voice is working.
Yes.
Or if I'm muted and stuff. But yeah, I don't do it as much at the moment, but I used to do it quite a lot.
Yeah.
After every stream, I think.
See, I think that goes into the whole thing. I like a lot of people won't watch their own VODs because they think it's, I don't know, narcissistic or something, and they don't like their own voice. And I can get the whole thing about not liking your own voice. Nobody likes their own voice. But you have to get over it because honestly, watching your own
do
VOD.
a little bit too much.
Yeah, what?
Some people do a little bit too
like
much.
it's a bit too much, yeah.
You know.
But you have to watch. You have to watch at least some of your own VOD because that's how you do the growing. Like you say that there's a certain amount of things that we've just discussed that should probably be the bare minimum when you first go live. The rest of it you can add later. And the best way that you can know what you need to add and what you need to take away and what you need to fix is to watch your own VOD back. And I mean, I don't know about you. I've literally sat down before watching my VOD with pen and paper and written notes and then action those notes. And then that's a really good way.
Mental notes, but never.
I'm really bad with mental notes because I never remember them. But yeah,
I can't read my notes. I remember them. It's fine.
Honestly, I mean, it may
I
not
did
be the
wanna-
quickest way to grow as a streamer. There's probably other ways to grow quicker, but it is a very solid way to make sure that every single, maybe not every single time you go live, but every week, let's say, you've improved at least something. And then if you improve one little thing every single week, you know, there's 52 weeks in a year. By the time a year is gone, the whole stream's going to be completely different.
Yeah.
Better.
Absolutely. I did want to talk about Onion because I think I said about hiding your view account and just not having it up, and he mentioned that it was so hard.
Hmm.
And I was curious as to what it can be hard, but looking at that view account will affect your stream and the way you stream and the way you sort of have fun.
Yeah.
Just do it for you, if anything, I suppose, and just have it off.
Yeah. Oh, I
think
see what you
it's really
mean.
important.
Onion. I see what you mean. I have my view account up most of the time, if I'm honest. I do keep an eye on it. And I've tried streaming without it, and I can't. And to be honest with you, I've actually sat and thought about this, the reason why. And you know that kind of feeling that you get sometimes when there's like no one watching you. And do you know what I'm saying, AK? And that's why you hide your that's why you hide your view account, because you don't want to know when there's not necessarily anyone
I don't want to
watching
know.
you. Right.
And I don't want people to tell me either. Like,
But no, it is rude to obviously go into a stream and like mention how many people are watching. But what I find is that I'll have quite a few lurkers. So sometimes I could have a view account that's, you know, 10, 15 or whatever, but then no one's talking. But then if I've got the view account hidden and no one's talking, I get that feeling like no one's watching.
yeah.
So therefore, I actually I made the decision after trying it that I did want the view account up, because at least if the view account is showing me an okay number, even if no one's talking in chat, then I can at least know in myself, okay, there are people watching, they're just lurking, which is fine.
Yeah.
And I can sort of go with that.
Okay.
And yeah, it is a mind game. It's literally like it's literally playing a mind game with myself, and I've tried both, and basically my mind doesn't like it when it's turned off.
Yeah. So yeah, like you've experienced sort of both sides, sort of thing, I guess. So
Yeah.
I think that's fine because you've you have it in your head. But if you're new to streaming and stuff, I think it can have a mental effect. But
Yeah.
If you can override that and be comfortable,
Yeah.
if you're comfortable, I think that if you're comfortable with the amount of viewers that you see, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I think if you're expecting a lot more people than or whatever, and you haven't got those numbers, then that can be quite crushing.
Yeah.
If you do look at that sort of thing, so
I think the real secret.
It's good to be mindful.
Yeah.
At least.
I think the real secret, and I've definitely said this multiple times, is it doesn't matter how many people are actually watching you. You have to act like there's like 100 or 1,000 people watching you. And that's, you know, because obviously if you're acting like there's nobody watching because there is no one watching, but then someone comes in, half the time you won't even know that they've been there until they've gone, because the viewer count does not update immediately. It's actually got quite a long delay on it sometimes. So if you're just sitting there in silence because you know that there's no one watching, but then actually for a few seconds there was, and you could have kept them if you'd have been, you know, acting like there was more people there. Which is why you don't just sit in silence playing a game unless you are literally in the top 0.01% percentile.
Yeah. Yeah. It is like people will come and go if you're sat there in silence and just just playing a game. Like, yeah. Not very likely people are going to stay.
I think I mean, I'm done. Have you guys got anything more to say on the subject at all?
No, I think I came up with a few things that just sort of popped into the head while we were talking and discussing.
Yeah,
I think I'm good.
It worked out really well in the end. Actually, I think by the end of that segment, we all input something really interesting. So thank you all very much for that.
The key thing with an overlay in production is it's always inevitably going to stray off to various different angles and aspects of streaming anyway. Whether it's your like we was talking about the voice qualities and stuff like that, or pre-recording yourself. It's all stems out to that. So no matter what we've talked about, even with the tips and advice, still going to derive mainly from overlay and production value, because that is a key facet that people see as a first impression anyway, and then it'll be your personality.
Well, there's certainly a way of having a cake and eating it as well. And we were talking about the clean overlay and stuff. Because, I mean, one of the things that I've kind of done, which I feel is kind of a cheat, but it works really well, is I have a scene that has a big overlay and one that doesn't. And the one with the big overlay, because at some point you're probably going to want chat up on screen if someone says something hilarious that you're referring directly to. So then you have a different scene, and you can switch between them. And I mean, a lot of people will use, you know, a Stream Deck for that, but there are free options. There's free alternatives to a Stream Deck, and then you can just, you know, you have a nice clean overlay, and then switch to the other screen as and when the stream calls for it. So it's not necessarily like a black and white one or the other. You can absolutely have both. Should we move on then to section 3?
We can move on to section 3.
Right.
There's a section 3. What is section 3, Mella?
That's section 3.
Yeah. What's section 3?
Ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary friends, if you are listening only, now is a really good time to draw your eyes to the screen, because we are about to play the sub-game Follow, Sub, or Dip. So for anyone who is not aware, we are about to watch 9 clips from 3 different streamers, which we don't know. They've been picked largely at random. The only stipulation is I let AK decide the size of the streamer. So these are the middle, the 20 to 40 viewers at the time that I searched for the clips, which because Mella is an idiot was about 2 hours and 20 minutes before the stream. But yeah, that's that's basically the setup. We'll talk about each streamer after we've finished watching their 3 clips. We're only going to talk about the content of the clips, not about anything else like their follower account or their VODs or anything like that. And then after we've watched all 9, we'll decide which of the 3 streamers we would follow, which we would sub to, and which we would just leave. We would dip. Are we good to go?
Yeah, we're just playing this straight away and then talking afterwards. Yeah.
Yep. So if you line up clip number 1.
Yeah, I've got it.
Let me know when it's ready, and then we'll do
ready,
1, 2, 3.
so
Play that clip, and then you play it. Are you ready?
Cool. Yeah, ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and play that clip. Nice. All right, next clip. 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Did someone just teabag a Deathslinger with no head at the exit gate? Did someone just teabag a no head Deathslinger at the exit gate? How are we fucking feeling, Meg? How are we fucking feeling, bruh? How the fuck are we feeling? Pretty fucking stupid, right?
Okay then.
Yep.
All right then. Clip number 3. 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Where's the fang? Oh! Oh!
Okay. So, without saying whether you'd follow sub or dip, what did you think of that streamer, AK?
I'm not a fan of myself of the toxic. I can never pronounce it. Toxicity.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah, you know, it's a competitive game. And talking shit. A lot of some people like it. You know, the whole Doctor Disrespect thing. Of just, yeah, I've never really been a big fan because it comes across a bit weird.
Yeah.
But then you've gone from toxic to the second clip to not really saying much on the third clip. I'm quite reserved, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I liked the first clip. I thought that was really cool. Like, it put quite a lot of effort into that cosplay, and like
That
the
did seem
whole
cool.
the whole setup was pretty cool. The way he sort of slowly turns around and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You
The
clearly
music I
Sorry?
didn't like.
you didn't like it.
Yeah, it hurt my ears. It
Oh.
was too much.
Yeah, it was a bit loud, but I did like the way that it added to the.
It definitely added to the Halloween, and that's the aesthetic of the Dead by Daylight stream.
Yeah. Actually, I agree with what Maury just said. Even in the second clip, he was quiet until he was toxic. I mean, actually, from like a physical point of view, I actually think that his microphone was like quite a bit too loud in the mix. Just purely because like it was quite a quiet stream until he started shouting, and then it was like, whoa, this is a bit. Whoops. No, this is a bit loud. I just dropped my my diary. Don't worry.
I don't play Dead by Daylight, so
Yeah.
as a viewer from Dead by Daylight, I don't know, like
Yeah.
Ray said, sort of they quite enjoyed it, so they know what it feels like to be teabagged or whatever, or whatever they were doing, and then catching them at the end.
Yeah, I have to admit that the first time that he said that in the second clip, it like he may have well been speaking like Cantonese, Chinese. I had no idea what he was talking about. The second time when he repeated it, it was a lot clearer. Although I still don't know what it meant, but at least I could discern the separate words. But yeah, I also agree with what you said. Like he was a bit too quiet in the second clip. I can kind of forgive it because the part where he was quiet over looked a bit maybe clutch. But in the third clip, there was plenty. Like I don't know much about Dead by Daylight, but for me, it seemed to me like there was plenty of opportunity to, at the very least, be narrating your play, and he just wasn't. He was sitting in silence. I do like the red strip behind him on the third clip. I think that looks really cool. Actually, it's quite because it's quite it's relatively minimalist, but it actually adds quite a lot to the background just on its own. If you've not got a green screen,
to the second one, hasn't he? It's got
Yes.
Daddy Phil,
Well-
and then
yeah,
he's got an overlay, like he's got a nice big border around the edge of his stream in the second clip, which is
You know
kind
what,
of cool.
that border didn't take away from the stream for me.
No.
I don't think.
no,
And I like how his camera juts out from it, but it still kind of complements and smooths in nicely. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I also
Yeah,
quite
that's
like. I do quite like it in the second one because although it does take away from the background of, of what's behind him in real life, it's more zoomed in. I think obviously that's more important to actually have more face in the stream. Although I do kind of sort of agree with Maury in that I do prefer it when when the camera angle is like dead on, when they're like practically looking at you. When it's not straight on, it can be problematic, but this one isn't too bad actually. The angle feels natural. I think one of the reasons why it feels natural, which is quite good, is from the perspective of like the 2D image, he's actually looking towards the game. Which I think actually does have at least an okay aesthetic to it. I think it looks all right. In the third one, yeah, no, it's not too bad. I think it would look better if it was snapped to the right hand side.
Yeah.
But there's not much in it.
See, I have an ideal camera angle that I prefer, which I can't do because of the way my room's set up. But I would rather have my camera above my chat window, so
Yeah.
it looks like I'm talking to you as a viewer
Yes,
because I'm looking into the camera while reading chat.
yes,
Unfortunately, the way my room's set up is not how I can do it.
yeah. That is often the way. It can be difficult to actually have things where you want them. But having said that, like just having it so you're looking vaguely at the camera isn't that hard usually. But no, I mean, in turn, yeah, it was okay. I think I could have done with a little bit more talking. And like you say, the whole toxic thing is very much something I'm not in for. That's the kind of
It's a very toxic game though, so it just breeds that. I have played Dead by Daylight, and it is frustrating in parts. Like I don't play it that much at all.
yeah, but it is
But I do
definitely
know the
possible to
community
play
and-
Dead by Daylight and be really nice, because I have definitely seen streamers do that.
Yeah. So there's a few girl streamers that I've watched that have played that I think is something Pickles. I can't remember, but she's whatever. She's really nice to watch, and she plays Dead by Daylight. It's like her main game.
Yeah.
So it definitely works. I don't know. I'm just for me personally, not a fan, and I'm not sure if the Demigorgon up in the top left corner needs to be there or quite so big.
Yeah, I see what you mean there.
Where?
Yeah. In third clip, top left.
What is that?
It's from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even anything to do with the stream.
It's
the
didn't Dead
game.
by Daylight bring out a Stranger Things thing
Yeah,
or
so-
something?
Dead
So
by
it may have
Daylight,
been.
They license real life killers, like hence the Halloween Freddy Krueger, and they had a partnership with Stranger Things as well and brought the killer out.
Okay, wicked.
So yeah,
All right, brilliant. What about you then, Hippo? What do you reckon?
Well, aesthetically pleasing wise, the clip 2 is the best for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, the camera angle's nice. You've got the lovely red glow. He looks like a serial lumberjack killer kind of thing going on. I like that kind of vibe-esque. You know, he plays the part. He's obviously into the whole like horror genre, which is nice.
Yeah.
You know, he probably is a really nice guy off for stream or stuff. But that whole like he's obviously got a uniform because he's wearing the same shirt in clip 3 as well, and it's obviously completely two different time periods. What the way his overlay is different and the cameras are different and all that kind of stuff. So it's obviously two different time periods.
Yeah.
But he has some kind of form of outfit ensemble that he likes to wear, which is kind of cool. I like that. I kind of like his cute little avatar thing at the bottom left. I do like if you've got a nice avatar, flaunt it kind of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be huge, but it's nice to have a little, and to be fair, it deters away from the gruesomeness of it all when you've got a cartoon character, so it kind of lightens it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's not too serious.
Yeah.
I've played Dead by Daylight a few times. I quite like Dead by Daylight for the most part, but then I do like the old school serial killer kind of Halloween vibes and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I've always loved those old horror films as such. I'm entitled to say old horror films because I'm old, so it's all good. But the classics are good. The whole Freddy Krueger vibes and stuff like that. I've always liked that kind of thing. So to have a game that came out that was very to have that opportunity to play that kind of thing, like the whole cabin in the woods feel and all that kind of stuff, it was cool. I enjoyed it, and I know that for these kind of things, clutch moments are what makes the game as a streamer for the most part. Whether you take it toxicity wise or you take it as a pleasant streamer is two different things entirely. But it's the clutch moments and how you react to those clutch moments is what makes this game a streamable game.
Yeah.
As such, you know, because otherwise it's a very repetitive and boring game to watch.
Yeah.
You know, it's all about the reactions, and obviously he goes down one route, and the one you've watched, that lady you were talking about, goes another way, which is it can go either way, which is fine. Yeah. I did appreciate his clutch moments with getting that person out of the exit, because in the game, Mel, you were saying I don't think you played it, but like when you get to a certain point, you've escaped the killer, they can't get you. So he got her right at that moment where she escaped, but still dragged her back in, and it's like an oh yeah moment. Yeah, I would have gone, yeah, fuck yeah, I got you, bastard, come on. But I would have been more. Whereas I don't know, but then we don't know if he was playing with a friend. If he's playing with a friend, and sometimes I like to belittle a mate like they belittle me, it's all the banter, isn't it? So you don't know if that's the kind of thing. We don't know anything more than that because obviously we've only seen these 3 clips, but not very talkative. But then I wasn't overly talkative in this game because as a killer, you kind of focus on trying to get your prey, which is in the 3rd clip when he flung the hatchet over and got him in the distance, which was absolutely banging good shot. That was really coolly done.
Yeah.
Coolly done? Yeah, coolly done. Why not? Let's go with it.
I'm with it.
Coolly done. Coolly done.
Hippos hip, guys.
Again,
yeah.
I am down with the youth. Faux show. I've seen cool runnings. I'm cool, all right. I know it. But it's definitely clutch moments. And when you're in the killer mode, you're focused. When you're in the victim mode, you kind of focus. You want to get the objectives done and get out. And then you get back to the lobby and talk about the game, kind of thing. It's generally how that kind of thing is.
Right.
It's a very lobby conversational kind of game, more something else. Clutch moments, lobby chat is that kind of thing. So it's hard to really judge the guy as such, because again, it's too many what if circumstances of it. Initially, like coming into him as a person who's never seen him before, I didn't like the toxicity in number 2.
Yeah,
but I enjoyed the moments of that happening. You know, the grabbing a person at the exit, getting the generator at the end. That was cool, and I really enjoyed the production value of dressing up and playing the part and doing that kind of thing.
Brings it back to segment 2. I love it.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think that's cool. That's a nice little added touch that not many people would do.
Yeah, no, I
But the
do
fact
like
that
it.
he's got a Halloween mask, it means he obviously loves the genre a lot.
Yeah.
Which is
I
what
think
it's
you
based
could probably have
on.
a better layout with the first clip.
Yeah,
Yes, definitely.
It's a bit of an eyesore, but the production value for the Halloween stuff is quite
amazing.
cool. And I agree with what Harry Hippo said. I appreciate the actual gamer moments. They were cool.
Mm.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they're the ones you kind of want to get clipped, you know, instead of I've said something stupid, they've clipped me to make me feel like an idiot, but it's still funny. I'm going to put it on TikTok at some point. It's that kind of thing, you know. But yeah, there were a couple of clutch moments. I mean, I think he's going, if he carries on with that thing, obviously if I saw more clips, it'd be interesting to see if he's developed further into the whole like cosplaying aspect, and especially with like Clip 2's aesthetics and the overlay and the sleekness of it all now. Where he goes with the cosplay things.
Yeah.
Was it a one-off? Does he do it often? You know,
that's the question, isn't it?
This could be an early days thing. You know, like early days, AK doing clown makeup and doing the things you did. Obviously, differs to how you are now. Maybe we've caught an early days thing. You know, so there's
possibly
potential to see where go on with that and whether he went on with it.
Yeah,
it's intriguing.
Random tangent. Did you know that in the original movie, the mask is literally a Captain Kirk mask that's just been painted white?
I'm a Trekkie, so yes, I do, and I love every moment of that.
I did not. So I've learned something.
There you go.
Not only does he slay Gorn, he slays people too. Yeah. Oh god, I'm such a Trekkie. I'm gonna shut up now. It's okay. Yeah. Live long and prosper, motherfuckers.
As long as you're happy, who cares?
I'd love Spock to have actually said that. It'd be like, live long and prosper, motherfuckers. Anyway.
R-rated.
We'll move on to clip number 4 then, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. You ready, AK, yeah?
I was born ready. Yeah, sorry.
Hell
ready.
yeah. 3, 2, 1, and play that clip.
Mac, are you ready? Hang on. Mama, come play Dead by Daylight. I'll be in your basement.
Swing, swing.
I love the sim at the end going shawing, shawing.
I thought that was a chat alert or something. It fit perfectly.
It did. Right, 3, 2, 1, play that clip.
Figured out who it... you with all the plates on the porch. Stop taking what are you doing with the plates on the porch, Blue? You'll see nothing. Blue, stop taking the plates. Why though?
Okay, brilliant. And then on to clip number 6. 3, 2, 1, and play that clip.
Okay.
Hello, are you here? I don't know I'm doing it when I've got a box.
Can you give us a sign?
Not happening.
I'm thrusting so hard.
Wait, where's my flashlight?
Okay, wait. Hold on.
Carol, get in on this.
you know, I couldn't see that clip very well because of the sandstorm. Anyway,
That's terrible. Get
I
out.
know.
That's...
I
Hi.
was thinking, are you in Dubai right now? What?
I'm-
on holiday?
I'm
Green
Mela21,
screen with you?
and I do dad jokes. I'm quite proud of that. Anyway,
Mac, are you ready?
so what did you think of that streamer, AK?
Yeah, I hate her so much. No, she made me laugh, which is always a plus.
Right.
I think, judging by the way I do things, she seems quite bubbly. She's having fun. She works quite well with the other people she's playing with. Clearly, likes Phasmophobia.
Yeah.
The people that she's playing with, their microphones seem fairly clear and not too loud.
Yep.
Seems to be a good consistency.
Yeah.
And overall, I from a first look, I quite enjoyed her stream, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was more engaged in her than looking at her overlays and stuff, to be honest. Sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Although I think actually her overlays are pretty good.
Not bad.
Going back to sort of what we were talking about before with like the whole production value thing, I think it is quite clear from these 3 clips that we've just watched that there's definitely quite a lot of effort that's been gone into it, because I definitely feel like one of the reasons why, like you said, her friends were like at a decent level is probably because she's actually gone in and like made it so. And probably, I reckon, added some sort of compressor as well to that particular output, so that when they got loud, it wasn't blasting our ears out, which I appreciate a great deal. You can kind of tell that there's definitely effort gone into the overlay, but also the background as well. Again, there's
I like
there's
the
like
background a
spotlights
lot.
and all this kind of thing. I definitely appreciate it. The only thing that I would kind of say is, and I feel a bit like a dick saying this, but you say that she made you laugh.
Yeah.
But
Okay, I know what you're going to say too.
It's not her that's making us laugh. It's her friends.
That made her laugh.
Yeah, and then she's laughing along with
Basically.
them. So as far as these 3 clips go, especially the second 2, it's actually it feels to a certain degree that in terms of the clips at least, the content's actually being provided by the mates,
friends.
not by the actual streamer.
Or viewers that might be playing with her. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But having said that, I definitely enjoyed the clips. It
You
looked
make
like
a valid point.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a stream that I'd probably enjoy hanging out in.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you reckon?
I'll
Hippo?
probably have to watch her to make a fair decision
Yeah.
on the actual streamer themselves. Is watch them play a game with no friends, like a single player game or something.
Yeah, absolutely. But then that's the fun of this game, is that we only
Yeah.
get these 3 clips.
This is an asshole game, you know that, right?
Yeah, yeah. She did. Maury is right. She did start the Soundstorm thing on the 3rd clip.
Yeah. She started the nightclub rave.
Yeah.
Which I really liked, and I think that's cool. That's the kind of shit I would do.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Yeah. It's clearly some sort of in joke as well, which
Yes.
is always fun, especially if you're
Which-
in on the in joke. Yeah. What did you reckon then, Hippo?
Right, so we'll go with the aesthetics first of all. I love the way it looked in clip 1 for her.
Yeah.
The nice big camera that's focused on her. Love the leopard print. Leopard print is awesome.
Yeah.
That's something I haven't seen
On the chair.
in quite some time on a stream. It's kind of cool. That's best of you.
Yeah, but-
Um, That's true, but I'm looking forward to that after stream set. 2 and 3, which obviously are the same, I like less. I think the border's a bit too big.
The orange is too much.
It's a bit
It's
much.
I like the thinness of the first one, very much like streamer number 1, with the silver but thin around the edges. It's a nice take on like doing that up, and I mean I really like the name, the Peach Please, and all that kind of stuff, but like on the edges of the camera it's just a little bit too much, taking up space where it doesn't need to, kind of thing on the screen as such.
Yeah.
It's nice, it's different because it's not a camera border. It's something that she's done with Peaches. It's adorable. It's nice. She seems very adorable and nice. I kind of like the vibes. It felt very positive throughout.
Yeah.
The vibes of watching her friends play and having a laugh. And I know Phasmophobia's character, like just creation thing, and it's so janky. It's unreal. And the death moments in it, and you're stuck halfway through a door and all that kind of stuff. It's hilarious to watch, and I love seeing stuff like that. Hence why I quite enjoyed her friend who was like pretty much bent over backwards,
Yeah.
throwing plates on the floor. It was a very good moment. And it's just nice to see how natural the vibe was with the
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
Whether it was her friend starting the jokes to start off with in the second clip, or her making the rude music moments that inspired the rest of them to have a great time.
Yeah.
That's a really nice, wholesome feel.
Yeah.
And you don't get that often on Twitch, really.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially when we were talking earlier about like having like other streamers potentially in there, or viewers playing with you in Discord and having to monitor the conversations and stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like that's just a nice vibe they've got going, and it's a pleasant one to hear. And they're really nice, wholesome clips.
Yeah.
They really are.
So
She's
I'd
clearly
probably
having
go
a
with
riot,
what-
and I think that that really translates to the clips really well.
Mm.
Yeah, so we go on,
So I
AK.
would say the orange order is probably in an earlier stream, and she's transitioned to the cleaner,
Yeah.
pinker,
Yeah.
nicer vibe. sort of
Crisp. It's
I
crisp
think
is what
that's
it is.
probably
It's
correct.
nice. And the follower count's gone as well, which I feel like with follower counts, it's another way of, not just like, for some people it's an egotistical thing, but other people it's a confidence booster thing.
Mm.
To show, look, I am growing and I am doing well. I am doing good at what I'm doing, and it's nice to have a confidence booster, especially from a wholesome person. I think that's how that's portrayed. And now it's gone. I
Yeah.
assume it's gone, and it's now gone.
Yeah.
And she's confident in herself to be comfortable with just like, this is me. This is me in my box. This is my not overly flamboyant overlay. Let's just have a laugh with Sims,
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that transition. We get this on the odd occasion when we play this game, where you see transitional periods and how they progressed and be more confident in themselves, and it's a really nice thing to see.
Yeah.
It really
Yes.
is.
And I think streaming does help with confidence. It's definitely helped me with my
Yeah.
confidence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Right.
absolutely. Yeah, brilliant. I'll shall we move on then to clip number 7?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, 3,
Aye.
2, 1. Play that
They
clip.
better a little exquisite. They better a little nasty, okay? Listen, before God, you pray to him, you pray to me. I pray to you, you pray to he. He who prays to you, prays to me. Me, being you, we pray together. It's a circle jerk. It's a circle. Where hippies come together and sing songs to get high. High of life. We don't do drugs, Twitch. Maybe. I promise. Not today. What? Shut up. It's time to put your prayers to the test. It's time.
Right. Okay. Next clip. Clip number 8. You ready? Yep. 3, 2, 1. Play that clip.
Daddy?
Oh, Juicy Plums, don't say that. Juicy Plums, don't do that again. Juicy, don't do that. Holy shit. I had no idea I could feel that way.
I mean, you do what you want, but
No, don't do what you
Do you guys know what actually happened in that?
Not really.
Alright, a girl called someone daddy, and they were like, yeah, don't do that.
Okay,
Yeah, I
right.
can't do the daddy thing either, to be fair.
No.
Yeah.
You know what? I had a partnered streamer come into my stream, and I don't know why I want to say partnered, because they were partnered.
Right.
And I'm not sure if I could pronounce their name properly or whatever, but I said, oh, I'm not sure what to call you or whatever. And they said, you can call me daddy. It's the first thing they said in my stream, pretty much. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
It's off. It's like, I just don't do that kind of.
Yeah,
It's really odd.
It's a bit inappropriate as literally your opening gambit, isn't it?
Yeah. Hi.
Hi,
Daddy.
you call me daddy.
Like,
I was like, yeah,
with
you-
a mate,
you
it might
can
be
piss
funny,
off,
but
that's what
with,
you can do.
with someone you've literally never met, it's a
Yeah.
bit okay. Right, well,
Just
we'll
odd.
watch the last clip then, yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Right, 3, 2, 1. Play that clip. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
without saying whether you'd follow sub or dip yet, AK, what did you make of that?
Obviously, there's a lot of aesthetic that
Listen.
I cater to myself. The whole dressing up and the production value with the dressing up.
Hmm.
Every clip he's got that mask on and he's got the same clothes, so
Yeah, he's got a uniform, which is really cool.
that
Yeah.
uniform is consistent, I assume, throughout all of his streams.
Yes, I think
So
so.
he's got various bunch of games. He's got Apex, he's got the Forest, and then some sort of community marbles type game, I believe.
Right.
So, it's got a nice, clean aesthetic as well. It's gone for very minimal green screen stuff, mostly. And he looks like he's slightly inspired by Doctor Disrespect.
I get that vibe.
Apex thing.
Yeah. I get that vibe very strong, especially from the first clip.
The voice, the microphone quality is nice. Put a lot of effort into that. I wish I had a voice like that because my voice is very nasally, very squeaky. I sound like a chipmunk. I feel it's not, it's a very Markiplier type voice he has. I feel with a slight accent,
right?
From wherever he's from. But overall, I think it's. I don't really have any quarrels with what's going on. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
Yeah,
and a lot of
absolutely.
effort put in, I would say. Very much sort of looked into what he needs to do.
Yeah.
He's stuck with it.
Yeah, I think actually overall I quite like the mask. It's very creepy, but it's got quite a cool aesthetic, quite a cool look. I really like his overlay in all three of these. Actually, I think that he's got like a theme, sort of dark theme. And what I especially like, because we've spoken about this before, about how we don't like it when they've got a green screen but they're floating in the air. But he's actually fixed this with this line here.
Yeah, the bloody gash or whatever it is.
Which he's got in clip 3 as well, around the edges as well, which is
exactly.
nice.
But
I really like that.
I think he's clearly positioned himself on that second clip where he has, so that he's not covering over an important part of the game.
Yes,
but then he's put that line that is genius. That I really like that. That's attention to detail, and that is someone who clearly has the same gripe about a floating green screen as we do.
He's using it like he's tearing through the void almost, kind of feel to it.
Exactly.
And I like that.
Yeah. I think that is really good because not only does it fit with the aesthetic, but it also fixes a known problem. I think that's really cool. Just aesthetically, I love everything about this. Unfortunately, I'm not so keen on his manner. The first clip, what the hell is going on in that clip? I have no idea what he's talking about or even what he's trying to say. He sounds like he's just talking complete crap, to be honest.
It made it sound like he knew what he was talking about, though.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'll tell you what it was like. It was like an American preacher that you see in TV shows.
That's what he's gone for.
I think that's what he was going for. But the words that he was actually saying, it kind of came across a little bit like if you've ever spent any significant time with someone who's high and they just talk complete bollocks sometimes, and you're like, yeah, all right, mate. It felt a little bit like that.
I think that's what he's trying to clarify with the whole high on life and not on drugs thing. We don't do drugs on Twitch, is what he said, isn't it? So
but I didn't really like the first clip. It felt a bit too much like he was trying to be Dr. Disrespect. It's like, be your own guy. He's clearly got his own thing going. That's the thing. So he doesn't need to impersonate anyone to be really interesting.
Highly inspired,
he's like the WWE Kane, but as Dr. Disrespect at the same time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what else I liked though. When he got the win on the third clip, he immediately changed scene and then reacted.
Yeah, that was clean cut and smooth.
That was
really good.
Professional. That's clean. I really like that. That's you don't get that very often. Immediately. Yeah, that's amazing. Really, especially when you get a dub like that, it's really easy to sort of get caught in the moment and just forget to do all the streaming stuff and just be like, yeah. But yeah, he actually thought about it first and then reacted. I think that's a great clip, actually, overall.
That just chatting screen is also, I would say, quite highly inspired by Dr. Disrespect, because that is very similar kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I noticed he's got his background, he's got his mask in the background there, wallpaper that somebody's made.
In which clip, sorry?
Which looks quite... on that clip where he's into the cutscene after the win, you notice the blue background, it has a picture of his mask.
And it's animated as well, which is a lovely transition.
Oh, yeah, so it is, yeah. I'd missed that.
He's got his own custom artwork there done. One thing I didn't like is the clip on the forest with the floating webcam.
Yeah.
There's a part out to the right of the webcam where it just goes off for too long, and I don't know, it annoys me for some reason. The tear just goes on for too. It feels like it's out of place for me, but
right. Yeah. All right. Well, Hippo, what do you reckon?
I like a good character. I mean, his influences are Dr. Disrespect and that kind of caliber of character, but I like it. I love the uniform. I'm loving the purple and the whites and the long hair and the mask. I really like that vibe. I really enjoyed the fact that he was going for this kind of preacher vibe in the first clip. And I kind of wish the clip lasted longer because I want to see how well he would have commentated on that marbly kind of style racing game that his viewers are doing.
Yeah.
Because we had, who do we have on that does the commentating stuff, Mella? Boney, wasn't it?
It was Boney C, yeah.
Yeah, and Boney does commentating and stuff like that, and I kind of like that because you don't see that often.
Sorry,
on
Hippo.
Twitch.
It's not called commentating in esports. It's called casting, darling.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm
Technical
old,
skill.
so commentating. Yes, exactly. And I think with his persona and his character development that he's got, because obviously he is. Stop smiling. I can see you there. But but the fact that he's got this huge persona that's very built up and very preachy, I think that'd been a really cool thing to see how he would have gone with the casting. With the casting.
Shoutcasting. It's
which
called
is-
Shoutcaster.
Which is kind of amusing because he's got a cast on his face. So
Yeah.
I think it's
Oh,
supposed to be a
all over the
death
place.
mask. I wasn't sure until you pointed out the image of the mask in the background on the third clip. That image of the
Yeah.
mask in the background is definitely a death mask. Yeah, so it's very similar to the death mask. The reason I recognise it's very similar to the death mask that the Redead wear in Ocarina of Time.
I just think
Such
it's
a nerd.
cool. I loved his lobby room is really nice with the microphone off the side and all that kind of stuff, going for that
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, I just think it's very clean. I love the fact that he's only using 2 parts of his camera box to do the whole drippy gore effect almost,
Yeah.
which he utilized in obviously the forest and in a flipped version, which is kind of cool to give that kind of like void tear, which is kind of cool on that kind of thing. It's a very sweet look. It's very crisp,
High level.
clean. The fact that he's able to switch so quickly on that yeah bit by himself, where like Dr. Disrespect has a team of people that press buttons for him for that kind of stuff for the most part. He has someone else to do the production value as well as his own. So when he has a spur on a moment thing, he presses a button, but he has someone else that presses it for him. The fact he does it by himself that's some skill right there.
Yeah,
that really is.
I need to
be
just
switched
look
on.
at something on that as well. The way, hang on, I need to watch that back.
And again, the transition with the ghostly kind of in the prison cell thing going on with the smoke and fog of his face, and then go into that. That was all lovely and seamless. That really
That's what I was just looking at. It almost looks like when you see him after the smoke, that he's turned around from holding the gun and looked back at the camera behind him.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just the
Yeah,
way
because yeah.
spin that he has on. It almost looks like he was watching as a shoutcaster or whatever, and then spins around to look at the camera. Which I just kind of.
I don't know if that's intentional. I think he might have been just like elated with the movement in his chair, but it was timed beautifully.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's intentional, but it looked quite.
Yeah, it does actually. I just noticed that. That's very cool.
Yeah.
All right, awesome.
No, that's cool.
Well, I think it's time for the hammer to the fall. AK Insane, do you want to go first? So, which one of those 3 streamers would you sub? Which one would you follow? And which one would you just dip?
I probably the first guy would dip probably.
Yeah.
Because it's just not my vibe. I don't think. Yeah, I'd probably dip on him. Follow the other guy.
The third guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe sub for Peaches.
You reckon?
Peach. I think. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm not sure.
I think it's
Go on.
actually a toss up between subbing and following between those last 2.
That's the issue that I've got as well.
Because
see, mine's
having
clear
watched
cut.
Various streams, various clips.
Yeah. All right.
I might switch the follow and the sub around. Actually,
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. What do you reckon then?
so, yeah, follow in order as the clips have been played. Follow, no dip. Follow sub.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. What do you reckon then, Hippo?
See, I'm clear cut. I'm sold straight away. I dip number 1, sub number 2, and follow number 3. I as much as I love a character, I love Wholesome more.
Yeah.
You know, I love good vibes. I come to watch good vibes.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah. Absolutely, and that's actually one of the reasons why, for me, the first dude is definitely the dip. It's not. I'm sure he's a lovely dude, but there's not a huge amount there for me. In those 3 clips, I'm not that keen on the game. I'm not that keen on his commentating of the game. There. Then when it comes to the other
I am
two,
conflicted about the last two. To be honest.
yeah, I'm very conflicted as well. Because I definitely like it. Like, I agree with the way that sort of Hippo sort of cut it down, broke it down. I like the wholesomeness, but also there is something very compelling about the third dude. I really like the visuals. But I think if the sort of the manner of that guy and the way that he spoke was as awesome as his visuals, I think he'd be an easy sub. But as it stands, I'm not sure if I would go into a stream and really enjoy it because it's like it's well put together and he's got this like really cool aesthetic, or whether I just get really annoyed with it.
Yeah.
So I think on balance, though, from these clips, I would follow the second girl, and I would just about give the sub to the third dude.
My concern is if it. Oh, go on, man.
What did it for me was what you said on the second person is her content was essentially not her content because of it was her friends that was making us laugh.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think and Haberdashery has actually put quite a lot of production value into his stream and hard work.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was why I think that tipped me over after considering those thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
My main concern is how far into his emulation does his Dr. Disrespect fandom go.
Yeah, that's an issue for me. Yeah.
That's why I'd follow. I'd follow so I could watch and see how well he does. Like, he's got a great initial wow factor.
Yeah.
A great initial wow factor. We're all like, you know, dribbling at his cutscenes and transitions and everything. It's fantastic. But, like, how much more disrespected is he going to become?
Yeah.
And that would be me, then I would drop away from the guy because, you know, initially I was like, oh, Disrespect is pretty cool. And then it's very samey and it's very, this character is driven one-dimensionally. And
this guy clearly doesn't need to emulate Dr. Disrespect. He's got his own thing going. So to try and do that seems like a bit of a waste of time to me.
He inspired so many streamers at that time when he was top of his game and everybody wanted to be like that.
Yeah.
I want to see this guy take that and go somewhere else with it.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. Which he's done initially with his cosmetics, which is fine. You know, he's not the boy racer on a motorbike little meme thing that Disrespect did and stuff like that. But the mannerisms and the way he is very much wanting to be Disrespect without. But then you can see in the second clip he's not being Disrespect. He's being more himself with the way he's interacting with the people in his Discord, with the whole daddy thing and all that kind of stuff. But like, there's informality there. There is break from character, which is kind of refreshing. I don't think I could watch him entirely just as the character, but I'm fascinated by his character, which is why he only gets the follow from me.
I think to be fair,
the sub.
Sorry, go on.
Go on. I was just say that's why she gets the sub. Whether it's her friends giving her the content or not, it's still a nice thing to watch. And if that happened repeatedly, where there's funny moments where I can actually open out and laugh, I'm happy to pay for that.
Yeah,
She
no,
definitely
that's
made
fair
me
enough.
laugh. I can agree with that.
Yeah.
I need to watch more of her, I think. And I'm sure the first guy's lovely.
Yeah, of course.
Not for me.
No. I think, to be fair, with the third guy, I think I would have to be in the right mood for it. Whereas I think the second last, pretty much any mood, I'd probably be okay to watch that.
Yeah,
I think she'd be uplifting. I think she would.
Yeah.
Just that nice, happy vibe.
I'm sticking to my guns, though.
At work, she'd probably cheer you up.
Yeah. I'm sticking to my guns, though. I'm still subbing the third guy, especially on a stream where we've talked specifically about, you know, about production value, and he's got really good production value. So yeah. All right.
Agreed.
I think that can be a wrap then. Overall,
I told you I'm not rapping. Not doing it.
I can't believe how quickly that went. Actually, it's midnight. We've actually overrun. I didn't even notice. That's crazy.
Damn it, AK! You had one job. Finish after an hour. What are you doing, man? I can't afford this.
That genuinely surprises me. I really didn't know that we'd gone that long.
I don't have kids, so I don't give a shit.
Well, mine's in bed, so I'm all good. But no, that was a huge amount of fun. How did you feel that went, AK?
Yeah, it was horrendous. I'm never going to do this again, to be honest. I don't like any of you, and yeah, thanks. See you later.
You just make me want to want you more. I can't help it. Just put me down.
It was great, and I used to get really nervous about these sort of things, but having streamed for a long period of time now, I really enjoy it.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It's been quite nice, and meeting Hairy Hippo for the first time has been
very
enjoyable.
Yeah. One thing
Yeah,
I will
that's
say, actually, just to everyone, anyone watching, because we are looking for some new guests. It looks scary, but honestly, at the end of the day, all it is it's a Discord call between 3 people.
And I only bite initially, and then I'm afterwards. I'm okay.
Exactly. Honestly, like once you start, it's really not nerve-wracking anymore. It's just getting over that that initial hurdle, which is like, you know. So yeah, if you wanna be on the show, then join my Discord. Ask. I'd be happy to hear you guys. You know, we'll get some new some new guests coming in. But no, seriously, AK, thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun. I really need a piss, but I can hold it for a bit longer because I've got stamina apparently.
Yeah,
it's fine.
Stamina over an hour.
I've got
Raw.
Yeah, that's going to be my new Twitch name. I'm changing my Twitch name to Stamina Over an Hour.
Watch out, Guinness Book of Records. He's coming for you. All right.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I'll definitely give Harry Hippo a follow. And
excellent.
Yeah, I'm going to be slipping into stream. To be fair, right, while we were doing this, I actually watched your intro on your channel, your trailer.
Don't
1 minute.
Oh, my trailer.
Yeah, and I loved it.
'Cause 60 seconds.
Yeah, 60 seconds is a bit short.
That's all I ever need.
Yeah.
60 seconds. I wanted to get so much more in, and I just,
Amazing. Well, I have just put on, sorry, the YouTube links that you've got there are the playlists for all of Chattisfying. This will go up on YouTube, hopefully during the weekend, but I'm not 100% sure. But I will, as soon as I can, this will be edited into highlights as well as the whole thing, and you'll be able to view it all on YouTube. If you are on YouTube, hello from the past. Don't forget to subscribe. Just kidding. Do what you want. If you like it, though, do subscribe because, you know, then it means you can see more. Woo! But seriously, thank you very much, everyone, for joining. I really hope you've enjoyed it. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really can't thank you all enough. A special thanks to, of course, Harry Hippo and AK Insane. I think there's not really anything else to say apart from there's nothing to say except you're welcome. So...
Oh my god.
I got one thing I could say.
Yeah, go on.
Good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the clowns bite.
For anyone who didn't hear that, it was what? Good night, sleep tight, don't let the clowns bite.
That's the one.
I love it.
Oh, dear.
I can do that
I don't
too.
have one of them.
It probably sounds worse because the NVIDIA broadcaster noise gate thing that I've got put on because there's so many noisy bikes.
I think Discord doesn't help either, if I'm honest with you. I think if you heard that back, you'd be like, yeah, but on your stream, it sounds great, honestly. Yeah. No, thank you.
I tried. For production value.
Exactly. Seriously, thank you so much. We do this every month, a Chattisfying episode. We have a different guest on every month. So if you enjoyed your time here this evening, do give me a follow, and you'll get more of this. I also stream, but we all do. So follow Hippo if you haven't already. Definitely follow AK Insane because he's insane. He's amazing. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. We'll see you guys next time. Bye for now.
Chattisfying.